Lin Moyu quickly digested the knowledge brought by rules. In the book Rules, runes are divided into 5 categories. The first is the most common basic type. This type of runes is the basis of all runes and is also the largest type of all runes. For example, use runes to outline a certain spell, and use the runes to cast a trap spell. The spells here are not spells that you must master yourself. As long as you understand the principles of the spells, you can also use other people's spells. It's just that without the corresponding laws, the power of the spell will be greatly weakened, or it will be invisible. The second is the law-type runes. The law-type runes are at a higher level than the spell-type runes. It represents a certain kind of law, and if you cultivate it to a deep level, you can even make the law manifest. The manifestation of the law has no effect on the existence of the other side, but it has a great effect on the cultivators under the gods. If there are embodied laws as a reference, the speed of comprehending the laws can be doubled. The third is the rule category, where rules can be cast through runes. This was the first time Lin Moyu came into contact with the word rules. Before that, he had never heard of it. What are the rules? In rules, the level defined by rule-type runes is very high, even higher than that of law-type runes, which shows that the rules are very powerful. The fourth category is combination runes. The previous 3 types of runes were all single units. Fusion runes are used by combining various runes together, either to enhance the power of the runes or to form a rune array. Once you master the combination of runes, the role of the runes will be infinitely expanded. The fifth category is to create enemies. Among the 5 types of runes, this type of runes has the highest level and is also the most difficult. There is no detailed explanation in symbols, it just gives a definition. Lin Moyu guessed that the fire runes should be creation runes. Through a large amount of soul fire, wisdom is given to living beings. Isn't it a kind of creation? But this is not a real creation. In Lin Moyu's understanding, real soul fire runes can directly give wisdom to living beings without resorting to external soul fire. Ancestor Su's soul fire rune must have gone the wrong way. After a while, Lin Moyu slowly opened his eyes. The information on the first page has been completely digested, and Lin Moyu has a systematic understanding of the text. The runes recorded in rules are actually low-level runes. There is no record of the real high-level runes. Combined with the words of Patriarch Su, Lin Moyu knew that Gao Wen had to reach at least the peak of the god to be qualified to contact him. At this time, the palace is closer to the Divine City and is flying around the Divine City. It is estimated that it will actually arrive at the Divine City in a few moments. Lin Moyu calculated that it would take almost a day from the time they set off to the time they arrived at the sacred city. This is because the palace is fast enough. If it were replaced by an ordinary warship, the time would probably be extended. Without setting up a teleportation array to reach the Divine City directly, the human race naturally has its own considerations. In this way, if the enemy wants to attack the Divine City, they can only fly over honestly. It is absolutely impossible to conduct a surprise attack through teleportation. After Lin Moyu digested the knowledge of runes, he couldn't help but have several questions in his mind. There happened to be an ancestor from the other side of the world, so Lin Moyu immediately went to consult shamelessly. Before he could ask, Wu Xingzuan spoke first. "Little friend Lin, now you know something about runes, tell me your feelings." Lin Moyu responded, "The runes are so profound that I, the younger generation, haven't even scratched the surface, so how can I feel anything about it?" Patriarch Su looked at Lin Moyu as if he were looking at a rare treasure, but he pretended to be profound. "You have a strong understanding of the runes and are very suitable for taking this path. In the future, during your cultivation, you must distinguish part of the energy is on the runes." Junior understands. Lin Moyu naturally understands this truth. Wu Xingzuan said, "If you still don't understand anything about runes, you can ask now." Lin Moyu had been waiting for this sentence for a long time, and immediately spoke. "Seniors, I would like to ask, rune divides runes into 5 categories, one of which is rules. Juniors don't understand, what are the rules? With a smile in his eyes, Saint Hao said to Patriarch Su, it's up to you to answer this question. Patriarch Su did not refuse. Before you understand the rules, you must first understand what the rules and spells are. The spells follow the rules. The spells are strong and weak, and have different effects, but they cannot transcend the upper limit of the rules. However, the rules exceed the upper limit of the rules. It is a higher level existence. It can ignore the rules, change the rules, and even destroy the rules. Lin Moyu felt the horror of rules from Patriarch Su's words. Ignore the laws, change the laws, and even destroy the laws. What a terrifying power this is. At the same time, he thought, if this kind of power existed, what would be the point of understanding the rules of cultivation by himself? At this time, Wu Xingzuan said with a smile, don't think too much. Although the rules are powerful, they are not omnipotent. They require realm and their own strength. Let's put it this way, rules are higher than laws and are based on laws. If you don't understand your own laws to the limit, you can't evolve rules on this basis. Wu Xingzuan and Su Laozu patiently explained to Lin Moyu what the rules were. Simply put, rules are forces based on laws and higher than laws. It can be regarded as the sublimation of laws and techniques. The power of rules. It is a level of power that only those in the other side realm can control. They didn't say the specific process, because Lin Moyu is far from that level yet. Even if his soul has reached it, it is useless. Wu Xingzuan pointed to a galaxy in the distance and said, that is an unmanned galaxy. It operates according to established laws. Inside, countless laws are intertwined and cooperate with each other to maintain the galaxy in an orderly manner. Now, I'll make some changes to it. Saint Hao raised his hand and grabbed it seemingly casually towards the unmanned galaxy. The unmanned galaxy trembled suddenly, and then all the stars began to rotate in the opposite direction. The trajectory of the entire galaxy has changed. Lin Moyu was shocked. It is not difficult to destroy a galaxy, let alone the other side, even he can do it easily. But to reverse the rotation of the entire galaxy without damaging all the stars inside would be as difficult as climbing to the sky. This is no longer something powerful forces can do. It requires real to change the internal rules. Lin Moyu felt the changes in the galaxy and murmured, use the power of rules to forcefully change the established laws of the world and change some of the laws. Saint Hao smiled slightly and withdrew his power, and the galaxy shook again. The stars that were running in the reverse direction slowly stopped, and then began to resume their normal operation. Saint Hao said, there are already established rules in the big world. On a too large scale, I can only change part of it, and it won't last long. This is just the simplest application of rules. Using the power of rules, you can accomplish some incredible things. Lin Laodai said, it is said that those strong men in ancient times could combine hundreds of galaxies together and use them as weapons. You can also reverse the refining rules and turn thousands of stars into houses in an instant. Rules are such a good thing, but it's a pity that they are too difficult. Lin Moyu truly saw the power of the other side for the first time. The three views have been completely refreshed, and the complacency I once had is nothing in the face of the power of the other side. The power of the other side is also called the power of rules and can redefine rules. Of course, you cannot define rules as you wish, you can only define rules within your own capabilities. If the power of rules collides, it depends on whose rules are stronger. However, the power of rules is based on the power of law. After all, the rules are still important. Lin Moyu is clearly aware of the rigor of the cultivation system, and if you make one mistake, you will make mistakes every step of the way. If you want to go far, you need to take every step firmly and steadily. As long as one step is wrong, you may never reach the peak again. This is a rigorous world and a cruel world with no room for mistakes. The palace finally came to a stop. Time and space completely returned to normal, and even the slightest distortion disappeared. About 1,000,000 kilometers away from the palace, there is a huge star. Everyone who wants to enter the Divine City needs to arrive here first and complete the procedures before they can be teleported from here. This is the only connection point between the Divine City star territory and the outside world, and is called the Port House. The first stop in the Divine City is this port star. Except here, entering the Divine City from any other place will be mercilessly attacked. Lin Moyu left the palace and headed to the port star alone. On the way, Lin Moyu saw warships coming and going, and the port star became very lively. It seemed that it happened to coincide with the opening time of the Divine City once a month, and warships kept bringing human cultivators over. In fact, there are very many people in the Divine City, more than any of the 4-star regions. For tens of thousands of years, many of those who are qualified to enter the Divine City have settled down and established their own family sects in the Divine City. This also led to more and more people in the Divine City. In Lin Moyu's view, the 4-star regions are like the cultivation base of the Divine City. Geniuses are continuously bred in the 4-star regions and transported to the Divine City. After all, the Divine City is the most powerful force of the human race and the foundation of the human race. As long as the Divine City remains intact, the human race will not perish. The catastrophe that year was also because the coalition of hundreds of races invaded the Divine City, which almost caused the human race to almost perish. Lin Moyu turned into a stream of light and approached the port star in the blink of an eye at a speed of 150,000 kilometers per second. When there were still 100,000 kilometers left from the port star, his speed slowed down rapidly. From 150,000 kilometers per second to less than 1,000 kilometers per second. It's not that he wants to be slow, but he has to be slow. The port star is shrouded in a special power. As long as it is close, both people and battleships will slow down uniformly. If it were before, Lin Moyu would only feel miraculous. But now, he has understood that this power belongs to the other side and is the power of rules. Using the power of rules, it was forcibly changed into the space near the port star. No matter who enters the area covered by the rules, they must abide by the corresponding rules. Flight speed is one of them, and there may be other rules. Lin Moyu continues to fly towards the port star at a speed of 1,000 kilometers per second. With 10,000 kilometers left, a golden avenue shot out from the port star and landed at his feet. At the same time, he found that he could only move forward along the golden road. Under the cover of the golden avenue, he could not move forward in any other direction, could not retreat, could not go left or right, and could not stop. It is also the power of rules, intangible and qualityless, but real. This reminded Lin Moyu of the Golden Avenue in the mountainous continent, which seemed to contain the power of rules. Both are equally strong and domineering. Since there is no way to fight, then simply move forward along the Golden Avenue. Gradually approaching the port star, when the distance was still 5,000 kilometers away, countless runes appeared in front of me. These runes are radiant, dazzling and beautiful. Countless runes formed a huge formation, wrapping the port star. Lin Moyu admires these runes as if they were works of art. These are combination runes, which are composed of countless characters. Picking out a single rune among them may not mean much, or it may be an independent spell with an independent effect. But when they are combined, a completely new effect appears. The formation in front of him made Lin Moyu feel heaven. Then he passed through the talisman array, and his whole body seemed to have passed through an invisible film. He knew that at that moment, he had experienced a verification. Verify whether he has the qualifications to enter the Divine City. If so, let him in. If not, expel him. If someone wants to force his way in, the formation will teach him how to behave. After passing through the formation, Lin Moyu continued to be led forward by the Golden Avenue. A large number of golden avenues appeared up, down, left and right, and there was a cultivator in each golden avenue. Finally entering the port star, a huge square appeared in sight. The square field is circular in shape, with a diameter of more than 10,000 meters, and is surrounded by thousands of exquisite huts. People were constantly coming in and out of the cabin. The ground of the square is paved with white jade, exuding a gorgeous atmosphere. Lin Moyu can feel that this kind of white jade is unusual. It is not an ordinary white jade. It is the material of the God King realm. The ground is paved with materials from the God King realm, so only God City can come up with such a big deal. Lin Moyu saw more than 100 squares like this. There were many people standing in the square. Like themselves, these people had just arrived at the port star. The difference is that this is the first time for me to come to the Divine City. And many of the people here were originally from the Divine City, and they just returned after going out. 10 seconds passed after stepping into the square, no more, no less, exactly 10 seconds, when the voice of Renhuang Network rang in my ears. Please go to the cabin to register. The huts around the square are used for registration. Regardless of whether it is the first time to come to the Divine City, or you are already a resident of the Divine City, as long as you return to the Divine City, you must first go to the port star and then register in the cabin. Lin Moyu chose an unoccupied cabin in 490 and strode in. There was no one in the house, just a formation. After he entered the hut, the formation had been activated. No outsiders can enter until he leaves. He followed the prompts from the Human Emperor Network and came to the formation center to stand, and the Human Emperor Network registered based on his information. It is said that before the emergence of the Human Emperor Network, enemies once sneaked in, got through, and finally entered the Divine City. But after the Renhuang Network, no one can successfully enter. The aura of the Human Emperor Network here is very strong and powerful, far exceeding the 4 major star regions outside. It can be said that the entire Divine City star territory is under the firm control of the Human Emperor Network. Lin Moyu's information was quickly verified and registered, and the voice of Renhuang Network sounded in the room again. Your information has been registered and you have obtained the corresponding permissions. Since this is your first time entering the Divine City, it is recommended that you check the relevant information about the Divine City first. Please abide by the rules in the Divine City. If you violate them, you will be punished accordingly. The voice of the Human Emperor Network was a little cold, and Lin Moyu knew that everyone who came to the Divine City for the first time would hear the same words. After leaving the hut, Lin Moyu immediately took the initiative to check the information related to Shincheng. He could not see this information before and could only see it after completing the registration. The rigor of Renhuang Network can be seen from this. After looking at the information related to the Divine City, I finally have a deeper understanding of the Divine City. The relevant information about the Divine City tells many things that must be paid attention to in the Divine City. For example, you are not allowed to use force in the Divine City. If you have any grudges that need to be resolved, you can go to the arena to resolve them. It doesn't matter if it's a real arena or a virtual arena on the Human Emperor Network. If you do it in the Divine City, it doesn't mean that the Human Emperor Network will teach you how to behave. Secondly, in the Divine City, the merits of the Divine City are very useful, and the merits of the Divine City need to be consumed in many places. Leaving the Divine City requires spending Divine City merits, but returning does not. Every time you leave the Sacred City, you are equivalent to buying a round-trip ticket. The round-trip ticket is not cheap, and costs 10 points for the Divine City merit each time. Without the merits of the Divine City, you would not be able to leave even if you wanted to. Whether you are leaving or returning, you cannot leave at any time and you need to wait. The opening period is once a month and lasts for 5 days. Only during these 5 days can the City of God be entered and exited. During the rest of the time, the City of God is closed. Of course, in the Divine City, you can't just use magical achievements. Points earned from doing tasks outside can also be used. The points are enough for daily use, and only in some special places will the merits of the Divine City be needed. And for most people, the merits of the Divine City can be saved as much as possible. This thing is really difficult to earn. Lin Moyu now has 300 points of Divine City merit, which is already a considerable amount of wealth for most people. In addition to upgrading, you can also purchase many necessities in the Divine City Merit. No matter how you use it to save your life, it is very useful. It is different from military merit. The loss of Divine City Merit does not affect the level. In the God City, level is very important. Level basically limits where you can go and what you can do. The entire Divine City Star territory is divided into 5 layers of areas from the outside to the inside. They are peripheral, junior, intermediate and advanced, as well as the core area. Peripheral personnel can only move in the outermost areas, and each area corresponds to a level. As for the core area, you have to go beyond the current level to enter. It is said that in addition to level, there are other requirements for entering the core area, which most people don't even know about. To upgrade from peripheral personnel to junior personnel, you need to have 100 points of Divine City Merit and complete a promotion task. To upgrade from a junior staff to an intermediate staff, you need 10,000 points of Divine City Merit. Given the difficulty of obtaining Divine City Merits, it is not easy to obtain 10,000 Divine City Merits. Lin Moyu is now a junior staff member and has 300 points of Divine City Merit. His starting point is already higher than many others. He can operate in the perimeter and junior areas. Judging from the data, these 2 areas together only occupy about 1/5 of the Divine City Star territory. The Divine City Star territory is a higher level area, and the wider the space. Lin Moyu felt strange inexplicably. This structure is very similar to the eternal battlefield in the small world. It is also somewhat similar to the Suzaku battlefield. It seems that heaven and earth are like a ring with a ring within a ring. This weird feeling is very strange. I wonder if there are places like this in other small worlds. How weird. Lin Moyu couldn't figure it out for a while, and could only treat them as coincidences for the time being. Lin Moyu was not in a hurry to go to the Divine City. He temporarily stayed in the port star and began to check more information related to the Divine City. When you first arrive, you naturally need to understand the situation before taking action. The port star is very lively, with people coming and going. It was not until 4 days later that everyone in the port star received the message from the Human Emperor Network. The port star will be closed in 1 day, and all personnel must leave the port star within 1 day. Port star will be closed in 1 day, please all personnel leave port star within 1 day. Port star will be closed in 1 day, please all personnel leave port star within 1 day. This message is sent directly to everyone's soul world, and you can hear it even if you are asleep. Lin Moyu was checking the information and was also awakened. In the past few days, he has checked a lot of qualifications about the City of God, and almost read all the free information that his level can read. Then go here. Already having an idea in mind, Lin Moyu came to a corner of the square. There were a large number of teleportation arrays that could travel to various areas of the Divine City. The teleportation array is free and can be used by anyone who meets the level. Only through the teleportation array of the port star can one truly enter the Divine City. Based on the information he had seen in the past few days, Lin Moyu chose a life star in the elementary area. The number of this life star in the Divine City is 12,998 to 1. This life star is located in the primary area, Life Galaxy number 12998. In the entire elementary region, there are more than 100,000 life galaxies. Numbering in the Divine City has its own rules. In the same area, the lower the galaxy number, the lower the risk. This level of danger is determined by the mission within the galaxy. Here, the tasks in each galaxy are different. Only when you arrive in that galaxy can you know what tasks you can take on. However, teleporting between galaxies within the Divine City requires the consumption of Divine City merit, and each transfer requires some merit. Therefore, for all those who have just entered the City of God, the first choice is particularly important. Su Jianqing once mentioned this matter to Lin Moyu, and he should not choose randomly. Most people will choose a low-numbered galaxy within their own level as their first destination. Based on his own strength, Lin Moyu chose the galaxy and directly entered his number one star. The Divine City is so big that the teleportation took a long time to complete. The entire teleportation process is not very fast. It seems that due to some special reasons, the teleportation speed cannot be too fast in the Divine City. Lin Moyu guessed that it should be related to the large number of secret realms scattered in the star field. The most noteworthy thing is that this transmission did not go through a relay. During the entire transmission process, Lin Moyu felt as if he was wrapped in the power of the Human Emperor Network. The Human Emperor Network is extremely powerful here and can easily interfere with reality. The overall structure of the early 12998 galaxy is almost the same as the living galaxies in the four major star fields. It consists of 3 life stars and 9 resource stars, and is also accompanied by 2 stars. The 2 stars operate very stably, bringing the light and heat needed by the human race to the entire galaxy. The life galaxies in the entire big world basically have this structure, with minor differences. Lin Moyu walked out of the teleportation array, and there were several people who completed the teleportation with him. They were all teleported from the port star. What an obvious rule. After leaving the teleportation array, Lin Moyu's first feeling was that the law was too obvious. It is much easier to understand the laws here than in the 4 major star fields or the battlefield. It is conceivable that the speed of practicing here will be very fast. But equally, there are drawbacks to being too obvious a law. Because more than one law is obvious, but all laws are obvious. However, at the beginning of cultivation, a person usually only understands 1 or 2 laws. In this way, too many laws will cause interference. The speed of cultivation will be slightly reduced, but overall, it is still better than the 4 major star regions. Lin Moyu was just about to observe the star when suddenly an exclamation came from not far away. Lin Moyu. There was surprise and shock in the voice. Lin Moyu turned around and saw a woman with beautiful appearance, tall figure and straight legs. She came to Lin Moyu in 2 or 3 steps with surprise, her big bright eyes filled with starlight. It's really you, you've come to the City of God. Lin Moyu was in a daze, as if he didn't recognize this girl. Lin Moyu felt that calling her girl seemed inappropriate. His realm is higher than his own, and his height is also taller than his own. Among female practitioners, it is rare to see someone so tall. Lin Moyu estimated that the opponent was probably over 2 meters tall. She has a well-proportioned figure. Although she is very tall, she does not look burly, but rather stunning. Her name is Mu Xiaogu, the 8th level of the God King. This is the information given by Renhuang Network, because Xiaogu did not hide his information. The name doesn't quite match the person. Lin Moyu muttered something in his heart and said, "Senior Sister Mu, what's the matter?" Mu Xiaogu was very cheerful. It's okay, I saw your performance during the 4-star field competition. Your performance was amazing. At that time, I thought you would take 1st place, and I guessed it. By the way, can you give me your autograph so that I can show it off to my sisters when I go back? This senior sister Mu Xiaogu seems to be a little too generous, and she is even more generous than Chu Xiong. Lin Moyu said with a smile, I'm just lucky, just forget about the autograph and all that. Mu Xiaogu suddenly let out a cry, how can you be so humble? You are number 1, how can you be lucky? The 1st place in the 4-star field competition is not a genius. After they enter the Divine City, as long as they survive in the end, they will become big shots or at least high-level gods. When you become a high-level god in the future, your signature will become a hot commodity. No, you must sign for me. You must sign for me while you are not that powerful now. I won't be able to find you in the future. Lin Moyu was really overwhelmed, so he finally agreed. The signature Mu Xiaogu meant was not to sign his name with a pen. Instead, there is a special kind of jade tablet that leaves a mark on it with soul power. This imprint will form a corresponding name on the jade tablet, and it is formed once and can never be changed. And because the signature is signed with soul power, it cannot be counterfeited. Whether it is true or false, just ask Renhuang Network to find out. Because the Jade token is produced by Renhuang Network and is worth 1 point of Divine City merit. After Lin Moyu left his signature, Mu Xiaogu screamed excitedly, "That's great. I will be jealous of those guys when I go back. Junior brother Lin, thank you this time. Senior sister, I am from the Xingmu family here. If you need anything, just come to me." The Divine City is a little different from the 4 major star regions. In many galaxies, there is a family sect. They often control most of the resources in the local star system, and also manage the entire galaxy. Of course, they won't mess around. After all, the Human Emperor Network is watching over them, and they can't make any small moves. It should be said that the Lord of the Divine City is the Emperor of the Divine City, and the Human Emperor Network is the Minister, helping the Lord of the Divine City to manage the entire Divine City. The family clans in each galaxy are like the local parent officials. The Mu family are the parents of the Chu 12,998 degrees galaxy, and this galaxy is basically under their management. Since Mu Xiaogu said so, Lin Moyu was not polite. It was a new arrival, and having a local guide was naturally better than trying to figure it out on your own. Regarding Mu Xiaogu's cheerful character, Lin Moyu said straightforwardly, "Senior sister Mu, please introduce me to the situation in the galaxy." As expected, Mu Xiaogu patted his tall chest and said, "No problem, I'll cover it." Then she began to introduce Lin Moyu to the situation in the galaxy. Mu Xiaogu said excitedly, "Our galaxy number is 12,998, which is a low-bias galaxy. Correspondingly, the mission difficulty is low, the degree of danger is low, but the mission rewards are also poor. Actually, depending on your strength, you can choose a galaxy with a higher number. In the past, the first place in the 4-star field competition would basically choose a galaxy with a number above 50,000. But you are right to choose this way, safety third." As she spoke, she patted Lin Moyu on the shoulder. That look didn't look like a girl at all, and was more heroic than Chu Xiong's rough guy. Lin Moyu felt that if she met Chu Xiong, the two would definitely become good brothers. Brothers of the opposite sex. Suddenly, Mu Xiaogu stopped and muttered, "No, no, no." Lin Moyu felt strange. "What's wrong?" Mu Xiaogu exclaimed, his eyes getting wider and wider. "You're wrong, why are you in the primary area? Aren't you supposed to be in the peripheral area? I bet the galaxies with numbers above 50,000 that she mentioned are all in the outer areas." Lin Moyu asked, strangely, "Aren't those who participated in the 4-star field competition in previous years not junior?" Mu Xiaogu shook his head and said, "Of course not. How can a junior student get something like this? Even if they have enough merit, they still have to do promotion tasks. How can they be promoted to the junior level without doing promotion tasks?" Lin Moyu knew something was wrong with him. He has not done any elementary tasks and has directly reached the elementary level. Mu Xiaogu stared at Lin Moyu. "Have you done promotion tasks?" Lin Moyu shook his head decisively. When would he have done this? His junior level was set by Renhuang Network, and at that time he didn't know what junior level represented. "But I didn't know it was that difficult at the altar level." Mu Xiaogu thought for a long time and couldn't figure out why. His carefree personality came into play and he simply didn't think about it. She put the question behind her and continued to introduce the situation here to Lin Moyu. The tasks in a galaxy are basically all around the galaxy. There are many secret realms around the galaxy. It is said that these secret realms were left behind in ancient times. Some secret realms are dangerous and some are safe, corresponding to various tasks. However, for low-numbered galaxies, the surrounding secret realms are basically safe. If a secret realm is discovered that is too dangerous, Renhuang Network will also take the initiative to intervene. This is just like what Lin Moyu thought at first. Many of those guys in the Divine City are flowers that grew up in greenhouses. They are protected too well by the Human Emperor Network. There is another difference between the Divine City and the 4-star regions. There is no mission center or trading center here. If you want to take on a mission, just contact Renhuang Network directly. Because the power of the human emperor network here is too strong, there is no difficulty in interfering with reality, so there is no need for a mission center. As for the trading center, if you gain anything in the secret realm, you can trade directly with the human emperor network and get the merits of the divine city. Of course, it can also be sold to other cultivators, and it can also be traded with the merits of the divine city. As for selling to the trading center, that's no problem, Renhuang network can convey it on your behalf. But what you get in this way are points, not meritorious deeds. In the city of God, no one would be stupid enough to do such a thing. The purpose of completing tasks in the divine city is to gain merit from the divine city. Points are needed, and you can earn them outside the divine city. There are a large number of living facilities in the stars of life. Not to mention restaurants and the like, there are also many places to relax. Compared with the 4 major star regions, life here is more comfortable. The holy city is not only a holy place for cultivation, but also a good place to live. But according to what Mu Xiaogu said, those places for relaxation were originally set up for cultivators who returned from the secret realm. There seems to be a strange power in the secret realm that affects people's spirits. After returning, everyone will be very nervous and need to relax. These things can only be known after Lin Moyu takes over the mission and enters the secret realm. As the managers of the galaxy, the Mu family usually does not keep a high profile. There are people watching from the internet above, and it is impossible for them to do something that violates the rules. Even if they are in charge of a large amount of resources, they must try to be fair and just when allocating resources. It's okay to take advantage of it a little bit, but if it goes beyond that, Renhuang network can't be deceived. Mu Xiaogu returned to the Mu family unscrupulously. As the eldest daughter of the Mu family, she was the princess of the Mu family, and no one dared to stop her. In the Mu family, Mu Shouyuan has a daughter, and he has doted on Mu Xiaogu to the sky. In the entire family, Mu Xiaogu is more effective in speaking than he, the head of the family. When Mu Shouyuan saw Mu Xiaogu, his smile was brighter than a chrysanthemum. Xiaogu is back, let dad hug you. Mu Shouyuan was a head taller than Mu Xiaogu, and his figure was extremely strong. He was a real strong man. Seeing him, I knew why Mu Xiaogu grew so tall. Mu Xiaogu flexibly accepted Mu Shouyuan's embrace, and then said with a smile, Dad, guess who I saw? Mu Shouyuan said with a smile, how could you have guessed this? Mu Xiaogu will not tell anyone, I met Lin Moyu. Mu Shouyuan thought for a long time, but he didn't expect Lin Moyu to be Hui. But I feel that this name seems a bit familiar, as if I have heard it somewhere, and it was just recently. Lin Moyu is the first place in this 4-star field competition. Mu Xiaogu said loudly. Mu Shouyuan then remembered, so it's him. He came to our galaxy? Mu Xiaogu nodded vigorously, yes, I happened to meet him at the teleportation array and asked him for his autograph. Mu Shouyuan frowned, that's not right, how could he come to our place? He has reached the junior level so quickly? Mu Xiaogu also followed, I also find this strange. I heard from him that he had already obtained the qualification to enter the Divine City before the 4-star region competition, and he directly obtained the junior level. At that time, he didn't even have meritorious service in the Divine City. It seems that after completing the 2nd series of tasks, he directly obtained the junior status. After Mu Shouyuan heard this, his expression suddenly changed. Mu Xiaogu didn't understand, how could he not understand? He knew very well what it meant. Over the years, although there are not many people who can enter the Divine City through the 2nd serial mission, there are still some. But it can directly obtain the reaction of primary status. Even if there is, they still need to complete a promotion task. There is only one possibility that can directly give someone a junior status and skip promotion tasks, and that is that a strong person from the other side realm intervenes later. This shows that behind Lin Moyu, there is a person from the other side. What is the relationship between this other side realm and Lin Moyu? Is he an elder in the family, or is he simply optimistic about Lin Moyu? Mu Shouyuan frowned and thought, searching his intestines and stomach, but he couldn't think of anyone in the other side realm with the surname Lin. "Dad, what are you thinking about?" Mu Xiaogu looked at his father, feeling a little relieved. Mu Xiaoyuan is the same as Mu Xiaogu. If he really doesn't understand, he just chooses not to. He looked at his daughter, Xiaogu. "What do you think of Lin Moyu?" Mu Xiaogu didn't understand what his father meant, and instinctively responded, "It's pretty good. He is very kind and easy to talk to." Mu Xiaoyuan once again smiled like a chrysanthemum. "Xiaogu, you are not young anymore, do you want?" "Stop. This is my own business, don't worry about it." Mu Xiaogu interrupted directly without giving him a chance to continue. Mu Xiaoyuan looked helpless. His daughter knew that she couldn't force this kind of thing. Mu Xiaoyuan rolled his eyes and came up with another idea. "Xiaogu, then you should establish a good relationship with Lin Moyu and see if he needs anything. If we can help, our Mu family will try our best to help." Mu Xiaogu glared at Mu Xiaoyuan. She was not stupid, how could she not know what her father had planned? Lin Moyu was walking on the street. They were all in the human star field. On the surface, they were no different from the life galaxies in the 4 major star fields. The people coming and going are also human beings. But the people here are extremely powerful. Although it is not said that God Kings are everywhere, God Kings are really not uncommon. These are just low-numbered galaxies in the elementary region. If you go to a medium or high-level area, there will only be more strong people. Moreover, Lin Moyu also knows that every area has a main galaxy. If you want to do the promotion mission, you have to go to the main galaxy. It is said that the main galaxy is the most prosperous place. Walking onto the street, the buildings on both sides slowly receded and Lin Moyu walked very slowly. He did not accept the mission immediately. He was still feeling the difference between the divine city and the outer star field. The soul opened its eyes and saw law minister again. The lines of law here are very strong and clear, far beyond those in the outside world. But unfortunately, there are still no first-tier rule lines. The rules and lines of the second echelon are also incomplete and have little change from the outside world. It just becomes thicker and more obvious, which speeds up the speed of cultivation and interferes with the speed of cultivation. There are gains and losses. The sound of singing came to my ears, and the chorus was unified and grand. Lin Moyu stopped to look and saw a special building. This building is in the shape of a tower, with 6 floors and about 100 meters high. The singing sound comes from inside. The entire tower is wrapped in a strong power of faith, and at the same time, an obviously strong power of faith shoots out from the top of the tower and goes to a distant place. Tower of Faith. Mu Xiaogu and Lin Moyu introduced that there will be buildings called Faith Towers on all the stars in the Divine City star territory, and there are many of them. Like the star he is on, there are hundreds of millions of people living on it, and there are thousands of belief towers. As the name suggests, the role of the Faith Tower is to provide the power of faith. He strode in without being stopped. The Faith Tower is an open area and anyone can enter. The singing became more and more obvious, but it was not clear what was being sung. Listening carefully, it doesn't feel like singing, but chanting. As for what sutra is being recited, I still can't hear clearly. What's even weirder is that after entering the Faith Tower, Lin Moyu saw the person sitting inside. They all held orchids in their hands and sat with their eyes closed. Their expressions were very pious, but they were silent and did not make any sound at all. But the singing-like voice is real. Lin Moyu raised his head and saw the top of the tower. A formation is in operation on the top of the tower. After watching for a while, Lin Moyu already knew the source of the singing. The formation absorbs a large amount of power of belief, and then the formation transforms it into a peculiar song. Singing brings peace to people, calms their minds, erases distracting thoughts, and makes them more pious. The power of belief transformed in this way becomes purer. Lin Moyu originally had a strong power of faith, so he was very sensitive to this. Opposite the people, a statue about 50 meters high stands erected. This is the recipient of the power of faith. The statue was so lifelike that Lin Moyu couldn't help but laugh a little after taking a look at it. This statue is none other than the ancestor of the Su family. It turns out that the power of faith here is supplied to the ancestors of the Su family. It can even be inferred from this that the countless faith towers on each star are all gathering faith for the existence of the other side. The other side also requires the power of faith? It seems that the power of faith is far more powerful than I imagined. To become one of the fundamental forces of the human race, the power of faith must be extraordinary. It seems that I need to find time to study the power of faith. He has some information on the power of faith and needs to find time to study it carefully. In addition to the power of faith, runes must also be studied. Time is not enough. At this time, he received a reminder from Renhuang Network that someone was looking for him. Mu Xiaogu applies to share your location, do you agree? The prompt of Renhuang Network sounded. Lin Moyu did not expect that Renhuang Network had such a function. It seems that I still know too little about Renhuang Network. There are many functions in Renhuang Network that I don't understand yet. I added Mu Xiaogu as a friend before, but I didn't expect that she would come to see me again so soon. There must be something wrong. Lin Moyu thought to himself and chose to agree. The next second, a virtual map that only he could see appeared in front of him. The map marked the locations of him and Mu Xiaogu, and the distance between them was not far. Mu Xiaogu was rushing over, and the distance between the two sides was rapidly shortening. By the time he walked out of the Faith Tower, Mu Xiaogu had already arrived at the door. Mu Xiaogu changed her clothes, looking a little less capable and a little more feminine. Just to match her height, this beauty must be discounted. Mu Xiaogu waved to Lin Moyu, looking very happy. Lin Moyu asked, "What's wrong with senior sister Mu?" Mu Xiaogu said with a bright smile, "I think the introduction just now was not detailed enough. There are still a few places that I will show you. Those are places unique to the Divine City. They are not completely absent from the outside world, but they are rare. It is a place unique to the Divine City that is rarely seen in the outside world." Lin Moyu was not polite, "It's just trouble for me, senior sister." Mu Xiaogu waved his hand, "You're welcome, this is what I should do. After all, this is my lady's territory." As she spoke, she pointed to the belief tower behind Lin Moyu. "First of all, this belief tower does not exist in the outside world, but it can be seen everywhere in the Divine City." Lin Moyu nodded slightly, it was indeed true. Mu Xiaogu continued, "The Tower of Faith collects the power of faith. Dad said that the power of faith is given to a few important people, but he refused to say who they are. Say that I am not qualified enough to speak." Mu Xiaogu spread his hands, looking helpless. Lin Moyu realized that information gaps exist no matter where they are. Not everyone is aware of the existence of the other shore realm. Wu Xingzuan said that the reason for this is to maintain a sense of mystery. When the realm is reached, you will naturally know. At this time, Mu Xiaogu had already walked forward, saying as he walked, "There is nothing interesting to see in the Faith Tower, I will take you to see other things. Have you ever been to a trading center outside?" She suddenly lowered her voice a little, "Then do you know who controls the trading center?" Lin Moyu also imitated her appearance and whispered, "Home?" Mu Xiaogu clapped his hands, "Yes, it's the Yu family. The Yu family in the core area of Divine City is a very impressive family. They are in charge of the trading centers of the 4 major star regions, and even some resources in our Divine City are controlled by them." In Mu Xiaogulai's words, the Yu family is a very remarkable family. There are a large number of gods in the family, and there are existences beyond the realm of gods. Moreover, the Yu family lives in the core area, which is the core of the Divine City and the real Holy Land. Comparing the Mu family where she lives to the Yu family, there is simply a world of difference. In the Mu family, there are only 2 gods. Among them, Mu Xiaogu's father is a 7th-level god, and there is an uncle who is only a 3rd-level god. Although it sounds like the Mu family is not very strong, it is actually not weak. In today's era, the God Lord is considered a strong person. A family can have two gods, and one of them is a high-level god, so it is naturally not weak. If we extend it further, there are hundreds of thousands of life galaxies in the lower star field of the Divine City. Each of the life galaxies has a family similar to the Mu family, or even more powerful than the Mu family. That's hundreds of thousands of deities. Not counting the peripheral areas, there are also medium, high-level, and even core areas with more space. The number of deities is measured in millions. This is the true strength of the human race. If a real war breaks out and millions of gods go to the battlefield, even the other side will have to stay away. But in this way, the human race is still continuously increasing its own strength, which shows that several other powerful races also have unimaginable background. Each race has its own trump card, and none of them are easy to mess with. The two came to a triangular building. There were two large red pillars in front of the building, with two huge runes engraved on each pillar. One rune is like an eye, and the other rune is like an ear. Mu Xiaogu introduced, this is called Guancher Hall, and it is run by the Su family in the core area. The Su family, like the Yu family, are both great families, but they are mainly engaged in information buying and selling. I heard that the Su family and the Yu family have been cooperating all year round. Information buying and selling is actually intelligence trading. The Yu family has its own intelligence channels, but the Su family is obviously more professional. Even the Yu family has to cooperate with the Su family. Guanchitang means viewing the big world. The Su family is indeed quite ambitious. Mu Xiaogu took Lin Moyu into the Guancher Hall and explained at the same time, the Guancher Hall is actually set up in the main galaxies of the four-star fields. I don't know if you have been there. Lin Moyu shook his head. He had never even been to the main galaxy, so how could he have been to Guancher Hall? Mu Xiaogu introduced the specific functions of Guancher Hall. In the Guancher Hall, you can view various information. There is not only information within the human race, but also a large amount of information from foreign races. Lin Moyu doesn't know where the Su family got this information, but being able to get this information shows that the Su family is great. There is a variety of information here, ranging from large to small. Big ones include which two races are at war and how the war is going. The small ones are civil strife in a certain race, and some trivial things, which can all be found here. Some unimportant information is free, and some important information is charged. They also have their own charging method. They will first show you a description of some information. If you want to view specific content, you will be charged. For example, a message said that the Golden Eagle clan discovered a secret realm and had a conflict with the Demon clan. That's the title. If you want to see the information about the inner body, please pay. In the Kongshi Hall, you can use points or divine merit, and the ratio between the two is basically about 1 to 10,000. 1 point of Divine City merit is worth 10,000 points. Mu Xiaogu said, there is a lot of information here, you can take a look at it, but a lot of it has nothing to do with us, so don't pay too much attention. Lin Moyu checked it with the idea of taking a look. Suddenly he saw messages, and his eyes showed some emotion. There is a giant plant-type starry sky beast approaching the human star field. Just seeing the title, Lin Moyu thought of the giant tree in the starry sky that had conflicted with him. The other party once threatened to kill him, but later he entered the big world and forgot about it. Seeing the news brought back memories again. It can't be it. Lin Moyu wants to view complete information. Information is not cheap. It requires 10,000 points or some magical achievements. Lin Moyu had a lot of money and directly spent 10,000 points to purchase information. The complete information is presented in front of you, not only with text, but also with pictures. An extremely huge starry sky tree is about to fly in the vast starry sky, and its direction is the human space. Its size is so large that it is comparable to a galaxy. Lin Moyu trembled all over, with shock in his eyes. It's really him. The huge body is comparable to the galaxy, the lush roots, each root is extremely thick. There is light coming out of the rhizome. It is a star, wrapped in a giant tree in the starry sky. The giant trees in the starry sky are devouring the energy of stars and taking the power of stars as their own. Underneath the picture is a large text description. The information came from 5 days ago. 5 days ago, a giant tree in the starry sky was discovered, heading towards the human star field. It is still about 100,000 light-years away from the human star field at this time. At its speed, it will reach the human star field in about 10 years. The information did not mention his realm strength, but Lin Moyu knew that his strength would not be lower than the other side realm. Anteri said that he is similar to the giant tree in the starry sky. The giant tree in the starry sky dares to snatch Anteri's Dragon Ball, so naturally it is certain. The human race's power in the 4-star regions naturally cannot stop the opponent. Only those who are strong on the other side can stop him, but the starry sky giant tree in the other shore realm belongs to the plant system. As we all know, plant-type starry sky monsters are extremely powerful and difficult to deal with. If the human race only sends out one other shore realm, I'm afraid it won't be enough. And Lin Moyu knew that the giant tree in the starry sky had the laws of space, so it would be difficult to kill him. Even if he can't beat him, he can still retreat calmly using space law. But now why he didn't use the law of space to teleport directly? Lin Moyu didn't understand this. Lin Moyu suddenly laughed self-deprecatingly. Why are you thinking so much? Anyway, if the sky falls, there will be someone tall to hold it up. If there is really any problem with the human race, the other shore realm will naturally take action and deal with it for me. Lin Moyu put away the information column and Mu Xiaogu's beautiful face appeared in his sight. Mu Xiaogu was waving his hand in front of his eyes. What did you see? Lin Moyu smiled and said, there are some interesting messages. Please read them for a while. Mu Xiaogu looked matter-of-fact. I'm right, there's a lot of interesting information in the Guancher Hall. We often come to visit, and if we don't come for a while, we may even feel disconnected from the world. Lin Moyu already understands how people in the Divine City get information about the outside world. In addition to leaving the sacred city to gain experience, it is through Guancher Hall. Mu Xiaogu said, let's go, I will take you to another place. After saying that, she took Lin Moyu to a tea house opposite Guancher. The tea house is built in an open style, so even if you stand outside, you can see what's going on inside. There is a plaque hanging on the tea room with the 3 characters Tea Friends Residence engraved on it. Just looking at the architecture, the entire tea house is antique and very charming. There were already many people sitting inside, seemingly discussing something. The aroma of tea is overflowing, and it is obvious that the tea brewed is good. Mu Xiaogu was obviously a regular customer here. He quickly found a seat to sit down and shouted, look. As the eldest daughter of the Mu family, her status is not low. When entering the tea room, many people's eyes were focused on her. At the same time, some attention was also focused on Lin Moyu. Mu Xiaogu said, guess what this place does? Lin Moyu didn't think much about it, it should be a place for discussion. Mu Xiaogu slapped the table, you're so smart, I'll give you a thumbs up. In fact, in addition to discussing information here, we also exchanged some cultivation experiences and some mission information with each other. Sometimes we can also conduct private transactions. Anyway, let's share what we have. Looking at the information in the Guancher Hall, you can see what has happened in the human race recently. Then we went to the tea room to discuss, exchange opinions, and exchange ideas. This is a good approach. The human race needs strong practitioners, but also smart practitioners. This kind of mutual discussion can broaden our horizons and open our minds, and is also very beneficial to cultivation. Lin Moyu's soul is so keen, if he wants to listen, he can hear it even if those people use their souls to transmit sounds. Before coming in, Lin Moyu had actually heard their discussion, which basically talked about recent events in the human race. In the tea room, Mu Xiaogu continued to talk to Lin Moyu about some things in the sacred city. Lin Moyu also listened to everyone's discussion. Among them, the most discussed ones are some actions of the human race. The world is not peaceful, and wars happen all the time. Even if there is no war, there will be friction between races. It's just that for ordinary people, many small-scale wars are unknown. But in the sacred city, because of the existence of the Kangxi Hall, even small-scale wars will be known to people. The people in the divine city seem to have developed a habit of discussing the changes in the human race through these changes. Of course, many discussions are meaningless. The people in the tea house are basically god kings, and their vision is not broad enough to make truly accurate judgments. Lin Moyu listened for a while and was no longer interested. He drank tea and said, "Senior Sister Mu, I also have a certain understanding of the divine city and want to try out a mission." Mu Xiaogu said, "Then you have to be careful. Many secret realms are very dangerous. After you accept the mission, you must be fully prepared." Lin Moyu raised the teacup and said, "Thank you, Senior Sister Mu, for answering your questions. This cup of tea is for you." Mu Xiaogu also raised his teacup generously. "Then I wish Junior Brother Lin a successful mission. We will talk about it again when Junior Brother Lin's mission comes through. Then Junior Brother Lin will come to my house, and we will drink and eat meat." Mu Xiaogu's smile is as bright as a flower in bloom, making people's eyes brighten. The words sounded a bit rough, but when they came out of Mu Xiaogu's mouth, they felt very natural. At this time, a whisper came from one side, "A mere 4th-level god king is going to do a mission in a secret realm and die?" The voice is a bit deep, and its owner is a man with handsome features. Mu Xiaogu's eyes widened. "Qiu Ji, I haven't seen you for more than a year, your mouth is not that bad." Qiu Ji chuckled, "Senior Sister Mu, I'm just telling the truth. He is only the 4th level of God King. What's the difference between going to the secret realm and dying?" Mu Xiaogu snorted, "You know what the hell, Master Lin's brother's strength cannot be measured by realm." Lin Moyu could tell that although Qiu Ji's words were not pleasant, he was not malicious in that way. On the contrary, he is really reminding himself that his realm is not enough and it is dangerous to go to the secret realm. Qiu Ji glanced at Lin Moyu and said casually, "Your name is Lin Moyu, and you have the same name as the first place in the 4-star competition. Considering that you are a friend of Senior Sister Mu, I still advise you, don't go and die." Mu Xiaogu turned his eyes and said doubtfully, "You remember that you have never been to the secret realm. How can you know it so clearly?" Qiu Ji smiled bitterly, "I had a brain convulsion some time ago, so I went there and almost died in it." Qiu Ji was a 7th-level god king, and he almost died there. If a 4th-level god king entered, he would definitely die. Mu Xiaogu snorted, "You did go in, please hand over the information quickly. Don't say you don't have it. With your character, if you don't leave any information, I wouldn't believe it even if I beat you to death. Hurry up, this lady is forcing me to move the people." Mu Xiaogu was carefree and not polite at all. Qiu Ji's expression became even more bitter. "If I had known, I wouldn't have spoken." But he still took out a jade tablet and threw it to Mu Xiaogu. "This is some information I got in the secret realm. I don't care if it's right or not. It's just my experience." Mu Xiaogu took the jade token and said, "You know the truth." As she spoke, she handed the jade token to Lin Moyu. "Check it before you go, just in case." Whether Qiu Ji wanted it or not, at least he handed over the information. On the surface, Mu Xiaogu forced him to hand it over. In fact, it was not the case. Lin Moyu had long seen that Qiu Ji gave it to him on his own initiative. If he doesn't want to give it, he doesn't have to say anything at all. It was precisely because he heard that he was going to the secret realm and he was Mu Xiaogu's friend that he deliberately spoke out. And Lin Moyu could feel that Qiu Ji looked at Mu Xiaogu differently. He obviously liked Mu Xiaogu. When he entered the tea room with Mu Xiaogu, he felt something was wrong from Qiu Ji's eyes, and there seemed to be a kind of hostility. Later, perhaps after hearing the conversation between himself and Mu Xiaogu, this hostility disappeared. It's just that Mu Xiaogu was careless and didn't seem to feel Qiu Ji's feelings. Lin Moyu took the jade plaque and said to Qiu Ji, "Thank you, senior brother. Regardless of whether it is useful or not, it is what Qiuji paid for with his life after all. Qiuji waved his hand, it's okay, for senior sister Mu's sake, don't die inside, you have such a bad mouth. Mu Xiaogu stared at Qiuji with an unhappy expression. Qiuji smiled and did not refute, he was not angry at all. Lin Moyu can naturally understand that Qiuji said this deliberately. Since it can't leave a good impression, it will leave a bad impression. Anyway, the truth is the same, keep deepening the impression. This roundabout strategy sometimes works well. Mu Xiaogu said to Lin Moyu, ignore this guy, junior brother Lin goes to the secret realm to read the information, safety is third. Lin Moyu smiled and said, senior sister Mu, actually senior brother Qiu is a nice person. Mu Xiaogu rolled his eyes at Qiuji and said, his foul mouth is nothing special. Lin Moyu said, senior sister Mu might as well think about it, no matter what you say about senior brother Qiu, senior brother will always be angry. Mu Xiaogu tilted his head and thought for a moment, then murmured, it doesn't seem to be the case. In other words, apart from his bad mouth, he seems to have a good temper. Lin Moyu stopped talking and didn't say much. He didn't know whether Qiuji had a good temper, but when he faced Mu Xiaogu, he definitely had a good temper. He was just guessing, and it turned out to be the case. At this time, he felt the gaze cast by Qiuji, with a trace of gratitude in his eyes. It was obvious that he heard what he said. Qiuji is a very smart person, and this kind of person is often very careful. Mu Xiaogu, on the other hand, is a carefree and forthright female man. The two of them are yin and yang, one thick and one thin, one strong and one soft, they really match each other. When night falls, you can see a bright moon when you raise your head. This is a satellite of the stars. It does not look like a natural formation, but has obvious artificial traces. In the myths and legends of the human race, the moon is a very important part and has an unusual significance. In reality, the existence of the moon can bring life to the stars. Most every living star has a moon. Even if they don't have it themselves, those gods and kings will make some changes, which is not difficult. Lin Moyu came to a grassland on the stars, sat on the grass and looked up at the stars. There are also stars here, and there are also galaxies, which are very beautiful. I haven't seen the night sky like this in years. He still remembered that when he was in the small world, there were many nights when he looked up at the stars and wondered what the big world was like. At that time, Ning Yi, Shu Han, Mu Xianxian, and Mo Yun would all be with him. No need to say anything, just the feeling, I like it very much. But now, I can only watch it by myself. After watching it for a long time, Lin Moyu started the mission system in the Divine City for the first time. Different from the mission systems in the 4 major star regions, there is no mission center or mission platform. It can be opened directly in the Human Emperor network. As soon as Lin Moyu realized what he was doing, a list appeared in front of him, listing the tasks he could currently take on. There are not many missions, only 8, and they only cover a few nearby galaxies. The tasks in the Divine City are restricted by the galaxy, the realm, and the degree of danger. Some tasks require a level, starting from the 8th level of the God King, so Lin Moyu cannot take it. Since it cannot be accessed, it naturally cannot be seen. There are also some tasks that are very difficult. In order to verify that you can take on difficult tasks instead of dying, Renhuang Network will arrange some preliminary tasks. Only after completing the prerequisite tasks can you receive subsequent tasks. Sometimes, after someone completes a task, he finds that a new task appears later, which means that the task he just completed is the precursor of another task. Generally speaking, the mission system in the Divine City has become more rigorous. This also shows that the difficulty of the task has increased and the danger has also increased. Of the 8 missions that Lin Moyu can currently accept, only one is a secret mission. This is the only mission with the best rewards. Secret missions can reward 10 points of Divine City merit, while ordinary tasks generally only reward 1 point of Divine City merit, plus some points. These points can also increase the authority level, so the authority level of people who leave the Divine City is not low. After Lin Moyu accepted the task, he obtained the detailed information of the task. Sacred City Mission: explore the secret realm of poisonous bees. Enter the secret realm of poisonous bees and destroy the poisonous bee swarm. Restrictions: the 4th level of God King to the 9th level of God King can enter. Completion conditions: obtain the body of the mother of venomous bees. Task reward: 10 points of Divine City merit will be rewarded, and there will be no penalty for medical failure. Note: there are a large number of poisonous bees in the poisonous bee secret realm, and the strength of the poisonous bees is between the 3rd level of the God King and the 9th level of the God King. Venomous bees are highly venomous, so please prepare antidote pills. A poisonous queen bee will occasionally be born in a poisonous bee swarm. If you encounter one, please flee immediately. You can use the merits of the Divine City to purchase the escape talisman. If there is danger, you can use it to escape from the secret realm. After entering the big world, Lin Moyu once entered the secret realm. Whether it was a secret realm virtualized by the Human Emperor Network or a secret realm in the real world, he had been in it all. But judging from the mission description alone, the danger level of the venomous bee secret realm is higher. Moreover, this secret realm gave him the feeling that it was very much like a replica in a small world. After accepting the task, a virtual map appeared in front of Lin Moyu. Through the guidance of the map, he can rush to the secret place. Lin Moyu was not in a hurry and took out the jade token given by Qiu Ji with his backhand. Activate the jade tablet and read the information in it. Qiu Ji recorded his experiences after entering the secret realm in the jade tablet. After he entered the secret realm, he soon encountered a swarm of poisonous bees. The number of poisonous bee swarms is about 1,000, the weakest is the 3rd level God King, and the strongest is the 5th level God King. It is not a problem to deal with them with Qiu Ji's strength. This is also true. Qiu Ji easily eliminated the poisonous bee swarm. Next, he encountered 2 waves of poisonous bee swarms, but he easily dealt with them both. It was precisely because of this, Li Moheo, that he relaxed his vigilance. When encountering the 5th wave of poisonous bees, Qiu Ji discovered the nest of the poisonous bees. The mother of poisonous wasps is usually in the nest. At that time, he felt that the task was not difficult, so he boldly went in to disturb her. In the nest, he encountered a large number of poisonous bees, but the poisonous bees were no match for him and did not pose a threat to Qiu Ji. But unknowingly, Qiu Ji suddenly found that he was poisoned and his combat power began to decline. However, at that time, he was still holding on to a bit of luck. Although his combat power had declined, it was still within the acceptable range. Later, he really found the mother of poisonous bees. Just when he was about to kill the mother of poisonous bees, the poison completely broke out at this moment. He lost his fighting power in an instant, and he saw a huge poisonous bee, right next to the mother of poisonous bees. This venomous bee was very big, no smaller than the mother of venomous bees. The venomous bee spit out terrifying poisonous mist and almost poisoned him to death on the spot. At the last moment of losing consciousness, Qiu Ji activated the jade sign and escaped. After escaping, I spent several days recovering from my injuries. It was a true escape from death. Lin Moyu put away the jade tablet. The information he got from it was not much, but it was still useful. It has been stated in the mission description that the poisonous bee secret realm is highly poisonous and requires poison prevention. This poison does not have to be attacked, only one bite will cause poisoning. Poison can enter the body through various methods and forms and penetrate into the soul. There are even many poisons that are difficult to prevent. Most of the secret realms in the Divine City Star territory are very dangerous, and Qiu Ji also knows this. He was well prepared when entering the secret realm. Several antidotes were prepared, but none of them worked. Qiu Ji had tried his best to collect information about the secret realm before entering, and the result was that this secret realm was a relatively safe secret realm. Given his level, as long as he is not unlucky enough to encounter the poisonous queen bee, there will be no danger. But the reality is often so unsatisfactory. Is the giant poisonous bee that Choji saw last the poisonous queen bee? If you encounter the poisonous queen bee, he may not have a chance to come out. The poisonous queen bee was described as so terrifying in the mission. Lin Moyu felt that if Qiu Jizhen really touched the poisonous queen bee, he might not have a chance to escape if he was poisoned. I still have to see it with my own eyes. According to the information obtained so far, this secret realm has no impact on me. But the mission is a bit weird. Since we are exploring the secret realm of Venomous Bee, we must go to the end. Why is the mission completed after obtaining the body of the mother of venomous bees? Based on previous experience in small world dungeons, Lin Moyu felt that the queen of poisonous bees was the boss, and the mother of poisonous bees could only be considered the boss monster. Following the guidance of the virtual map, Lin Moyu left the stars and flew towards the secret realm. The secret realm is about 500 million kilometers away from the star 12,998 to 1. Summon the light speed lich, turn it into a stream of light, and fly at a speed of 150,000 kilometers per second. If nothing else, you can arrive in about an hour. This speed has surpassed all god kings and is faster than the lesser gods. Only Shinzun can rival Lin Moyu in terms of speed. Of course, the gods often use the magic weapons of the god realm, which can exceed the speed of light. The stars quickly shrank behind them, turning into just a small dot in the blink of an eye. Then the stars became smaller, and Lin Moyu was flying towards the outer reaches of Galaxy 12998. The starlight gradually weakens, and the starry sky becomes darker and darker. Countless stars fly in from faraway places, bringing faint light. Gradually, Lin Moyu saw many streamers. Each stream of light represents a practitioner. A large number of cultivators flew from different stars, all with the same destination. The closer you get to the secret realm, the more cultivators there are. The number of cultivators in the Divine City is indeed very large, far exceeding that of the 4 major star regions. This is the result of countless years of accumulation and is incomparable. Lin Moyu's speed far exceeded them, leaving them far behind. Why does this man fly so fast? What kind of secret technique is this? How can it fly so fast? This can't be the speed of the God King. This person is probably the God Lord. Countless questions echoed in the starry sky. The cultivators use soul transmission to communicate, all with a sense of surprise and suspicion. Someone tried to use his magic weapon to chase Lin Moyu, but found that he could not catch up and could only watch him go away. How could a 4th-level God King fly so fast? His name is Lin Moyu. Why does this name sound familiar to me? Lin Moyu. Isn't this the name of the first-place winner in this 4-star competition? It must be the same name. No, I remember the Lin Moyu who ranked first was also the 4th-level God King. The name is the same and the realm is the same. Could it really be him? The first place in the competition has come to the City of God. This is big news. This is a real genius. I heard that his true combat power is comparable to that of a god. Lin Moyu is very famous now, and many people in Xinqiang know him. The one who was once the number 1 in the 4-star field competition quickly rose to prominence after entering the Divine City. They can break through and become gods in a very short time, and then they can reach high-level gods in a few years, and then establish family sects and become the leaders of a galaxy. In their opinion, Lin Moyu can do the same, and it is even more terrifying than the previous number 1. After all, Lin Moyu is only at the 4th level of God King, but he can possess such exaggerated combat power, and his future is unlimited. Lin Moyu gradually approached the secret realm and finally saw the whole secret realm. It was a light group. According to the map, this light group was the entrance to the secret realm. There was a faint whirlpool in the light ball. Lin Moyu's heart trembled and he almost blurted out, "Copy." It is indeed very similar to the copy of Small World. If the copy of Small World is modeled after the secret realm here, Lin Moyu would not have any doubts. A bunch of mysteries arise out of thin air in my mind. He deeply realized that his little world contained astonishingly large secrets. With his current knowledge, he is completely unable to understand it. After getting closer again, a vast aura hit my face. Lin Moyu frowned slightly. This breath was not unfamiliar to him. This is the breath of ancient times. He felt the ancient atmosphere from the entrance to the secret realm, but it seemed to be different from the atmosphere of the mysterious matter. After feeling it carefully, Lin Moyu knew the source of the breath. It was the severed finger outside the Divine City Star territory, and the two auras were exactly the same. The secret realm is part of the severed finger. Lin Moyu quickly imagined the scene from ancient times. The terrifying existence on the battlefield left a severed finger here. His broken fingers are too big, and his strength is too strong. The broken finger will never be destroyed, and even changed the rules, turning it into a terrifying remote place. The strands flying out from the severed fingers eventually turned into equally terrifying secret realms. The secret realm also changed the rules, and over time formed its own unique rules and various restrictions. With Lin Moyu's powerful brainstorming, the cause of the secret realm appeared and formed a logical closed loop. The reason why he can imagine this is mainly because he has experienced things related to ancient times again and again. Not only did he see ancient tombs, but he also entered a destroyed world like Tulu World. Experience after experience has brought him valuable insights and experience. Lin Moyu didn't know if what he was thinking was right, but he felt that it couldn't be wrong. Those terrible beings can be reborn with a drop of blood. Every hair on their bodies contains souls and ancient memories. If this is the case, will there be an ancient atmosphere in the deepest part of the secret realm? If the secret realm is part of the strong man's body, I will resurrect the dead. Thinking of this, Lin Moyu felt excited all over, feeling that he was going further and further on the road to death. I have tried to commit suicide once in the Tulu world, and I really almost died. There are not only great horrors between life and death, but also great opportunities. The Tulu community and his party allowed their souls to reach the other side. The opportunity was so great that it was unimaginable. This time the secret realm. Lin Moyu thought for a while and didn't dare to really serve the people. Those guys in the Tulu world were in the other side realm before they died. Although the other side realm is powerful, it is not out of reach. But if this guy in front of me is really resurrected, then I don't know what state he is in. Is it one level or several levels higher than the other shore realm? That kind of incredible existence is scary just thinking about it, and you might even kill yourself with just a thought. Can't commit suicide. Erasing unrealistic thoughts, Lin Moyu stopped at the entrance to the secret realm. At the entrance to the secret realm, a vortex rotates slowly, which is somewhat similar to the entrance to the dungeon. There are many practitioners outside the secret realm. Many people have received missions to enter the secret realm. However, the mission in the secret realm is not easy to complete, and people are constantly being teleported out of the secret realm. Most people looked frustrated and panicked, and not many could actually complete the task successfully. Lin Moyu observed for more than 10 minutes and saw more than 10 people leaving the secret realm. Only one of them had an excited look, indicating that he had completed the task. More people ended up failing. Although there was no punishment, they all used escape talismans to leave and lost one escape talisman. The escape talisman is not cheap, it is worth 5 points of Divine City merit. Losing 5 points of Divine City merit is still very distressing. Lin Moyu also bought an escape talisman. Although he most likely won't need it, he always needs it just in case. Reaching out to touch the vortex, the soul force moved slightly and resonated with the vortex. The whole person was instantly sucked into it, and the feeling was exactly the same as entering a copy. Shortly after Lin Moyu entered the secret realm, a large group of people arrived, all of whom had been surpassed by Lin Moyu before. He's in. If it is really him, with his strength, he will definitely be able to complete his mission. Not only can he complete the task, he may also be able to complete subsequent tasks. This level of difficulty seems a bit too high. It's difficult for others, but it shouldn't be difficult for him. Their discussion immediately attracted the attention of many people. When they learned that the young man who had just entered was Lin Moyu, the first-place winner in this 4-star field competition, all of them opened their eyes wide. Is it really Lin Moyu? But how did he get here? Even if he is the first in the 4-star competition, his achievements in the City of God are enough, but he doesn't need to do promotion tasks. It's only been a few days since the 4-star region competition ended. How could he complete the promotion task so quickly? I heard that true geniuses in the 4-star domain will be exempted from the rules and directly obtain junior qualifications. I've heard of this too, but there are very few such people, only a handful. Lin Moyu should have made an exception and obtained the junior qualification. Don't worry, we'll find out when he comes out and asks. None of these people planned to enter the secret realm. They were all waiting outside the secret realm for Lin Moyu to come out. The feeling of entering the secret realm of the Divine City is exactly the same as entering the dungeon. This makes Lin Moyu absolutely certain that there must be a relationship between the dungeon of the small world and the secret realm. With both feet on the ground, my eyesight turned from darkness to light, and my vision became clear. The fragrance of flowers comes from the nose, and what you see in your eyes is a sea of colorful flowers. He was currently in a sea of flowers. Everyone enters the secret realm in a different position. This is different from a copy. There is no so-called starting point and no safe zone. Lin Moyu speculated that if someone clicks on something unlucky, it may be directly sent back to the wasp swarm. Maybe it hangs up as soon as I come in. A gust of wind blew, and the sea of flowers swayed like waves, making a roaring sound. The colorful colors are swaying in front of the eyes, and the whole picture is amazingly beautiful. I never expected that there would be such beautiful scenery in the secret realm. Lin Moyu sighed in his heart, and he did not relax his vigilance because of this. On the contrary, the more beautiful the place, the more dangerous it is. A white light flashed around him, and a skeleton god warrior appeared beside him. The vision of the undead is instantly opened. 1 flower. 2 flowers. 10 flowers. Hundreds of flowers. Countless soul flames appeared in the sight of the undead. In all directions, there are blazing soul flames. What Lin Moyu was still guessing just now came true. He himself was surrounded by a swarm of poisonous bees. It is conceivable that if he hadn't noticed it, he could have alerted these poisonous bees with just a few casual actions. Switching back to the real line of sight, I could vaguely see a fist-sized poisonous bee sitting in a bright flower. The soul fire told him that this was a poisonous bee of the 3rd level of the God King, belonging to the weakest category. There are thousands of poisonous bees here, basically all of them are at the 3rd level of God King, and a few are at the 4th level. Only the leading one is the 5th level God King. Lin Moyu did not make any movement after entering the secret realm. Even if he summoned the skeleton god warrior, the whole process was silent. The poisonous bees were still collecting nectar from the flowers without any reaction. Lin Moyu slowly raised his hand and glanced at the sky. The sky is very bright, as if the sun is shining down, and the whole secret world is very bright. Gray flames burned at his fingertips. Stellar level spell, Gaze of the Dead. The sky suddenly became dim, and a gray immortal fire emerged out of thin air, burning blazingly in the sky. The entire secret realm seemed to be connected to the undead world, turning into a gray world in the blink of an eye. An eye of the undead, tens of millions of meters in size, slowly opened in the gray flames. From the scale of the big world, tens of millions of mining is nothing. 10 million meters is only 10,000 kilometers. Any god king can fly from one end to the other in the blink of an eye. But in the secret realm, tens of millions of meters is already astonishing. At least the sea of flowers Lin Moyu is currently in is not as big as 10 million meters, maybe not even 100,000 meters. The appearance of the Eye of the Dead caused a riot in the sea of flowers. Feeling uneasy, the poisonous bees gave up their work and rose into the sky. As soon as they took off, the eyes of the undead were already staring at them. A large number of poisonous bees fell like raindrops. Their souls were obliterated and they died instantly. From the 3rd level of the God King to the 5th level of the God King, none of the thousands of poisonous bees was spared. This is a real killer weapon when facing an enemy who is at the same level as you or is weaker than you. Indiscriminate soul attack, super wide range, complete instant kill. Countless light spots rose into the sky, and the dead poisonous bees turned into powder and dispersed in the wind, leaving no corpses behind. The light spots rising all over the sky are like light rain flowing upstream, and the fields are beautiful. This is. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed slightly, and he saw something unusual in the rising light spots. There seemed to be something similar to runes, looming in the light spots. When I wanted to take a closer look, I found that it was a little unclear. These runes seemed to be just shadows, and even Lin Moyu wondered if he was dazzled. It seems a little incredible that a strong man in the God King realm is dazzled. Lin Moyu naturally knew that it was impossible for him to be dazzled and that there were really runes in the light spots. He opened his soul's eyes. Since he couldn't see clearly with his physical eyes, he used his soul's eyes to see. The soul in the other side opened its eyes and shot out 2 invisible lights. The world in front of me suddenly became different. Lines of laws emerged around him, and he saw the world belonging to the other side. Through the eyes of the soul, Lin Moyu finally truly saw the runes in the light spots. They are all incomplete runes, none of them are complete. Lin Moyu realized that the runes he saw in front of him should be part of a complete rune. It's like a huge jigsaw puzzle has been broken into pieces. What is now in front of you is the picture after the runes are broken. Perhaps by putting these fragments back together, it is possible to reconstruct a complete rune. The light spot only lasted for a few seconds before disappearing, and the runes within it also disappeared, but Lin Moyu already knows how to continue observing the runes. A large number of skeleton god warriors appeared and flew in all directions. Killing poisonous bees and reading runes has become what Lin Moyu wants to do most at the moment. Lin Moyu even forgot about the secret mission. There is no time limit on the task, so there is no need to rush. The skeleton god warrior had already gone out to look for the swarm of poisonous bees, while Lin Moyu stood motionless in the sea of flowers. The eyes of the undead still exist in the sky, and the immortal flames are burning brightly, rendering the secret realm gray. Lin Moyu's head was running rapidly, and he was thinking and connecting various causes and consequences. Talking to himself, organizing a very likely outcome. In the distant time, the terrifying existence beyond the other shore will disappear after death. No, that's not right. He is dead, but his thoughts are not gone. When he reaches that state, the dharma he has cultivated and the path he has followed have spread to every corner of his body. The amputated finger is the best proof. The skin and flesh have been destroyed, but the Tao still exists. His Tao formed ancient ruins. Countless flesh and blood scattered in the divine city star field became secret realms. Whether it is a secret realm or an ancient ruin, it is the way left by the strong man. Not only does there exist Tao, but there is also memory. The big shot in the other side of the world wants to learn about what happened in ancient times by studying the Tao he left behind. Every bit of information is connected at this moment. Everything makes sense. Lin Moyu found that he seemed to be doing something similar to the other side. What he wants to do is not to complete the task, but to study the other party's way. Unknowingly, he had reached such a high position. What he thinks has gotten rid of the restrictions that ordinary god kings should have. Perhaps even the God Lord has never thought about studying the way of existence. After getting the results, Lin Moyu realized something. The Tao of this strong man seems to be finally reflected in runes. In the big world, runes are the real source. After all, the runes of the big world are the foundation of this world. Everything, big and small, can be described and expressed in words. Mr. Su is right. If you study the runes thoroughly, you can control this big world. Lin Moyu felt suddenly enlightened and knew how to move forward. While improving the realm, research and control are at a higher level. You can even feedback your own spells through runes. There was a buzzing sound in the ears, and the skeleton god warrior brought back a large number of poisonous bees. One group, two groups, white group. Tens of thousands of poisonous bees flew in from all directions. The skeleton god warrior returned to his old ways, just like in the dungeon, and began to pull monsters with all his strength. This is just the first wave, there will be more to come. The skeleton god warrior ran back and forth, flying around in circles. Gather all the poisonous bees attracted. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and the eyes of the undead in the sky suddenly stared at him. Just like the arrival of death, the terrifying power from the world of death turned into an invisible giant hand and wiped out the soul of the poisonous bee. Tens of thousands of poisonous bees turned into corpses and poured down. Then it turned into a light point and lifted into the sky against the current. This time the light spots were so dense that they almost formed a light curtain. Lin Moyu's eyes shot out light, the soul world's purple energy surged, and the eyes of the soul were completely opened. The brain is also running at full speed at this moment. Now, I don't want to analyze what kind of runes this is. Lin Moyu knows very well that with his current level, it is impossible to analyze such high-end runes. Now he just wants to remember these rune fragments and then piece them together. Try to piece together the complete runes as much as possible. Maybe in the future, he can understand these runes. Only when you actually start doing it will you know how difficult it is. When he looked at these runes carefully and wanted to write them down, he realized how complicated these rune fragments were. Runes look not only at their appearance, but also at the internal flow of power and deep-seated lines. That is the core of runes. It doesn't mean that just taking a pen and drawing the exact same runes on paper will make the runes work. It's useless to be tangible, you also need to have a spirit. What Lin Moyu remembers is not the terrain in the rune fragments, but the gods inside. As long as the spirit is right, the form won't be any difficult. It's just that this god is too obscure and difficult, and its level is too high, beyond the scope of Lin Moyu's understanding. Lin Moyu remembers that it was very hard. After a while, he felt that his head was drained, his soul power was greatly consumed, and it was too late to replenish the talent tree. After arriving at the other side, it was the first time that my soul was depleted. The light curtain disappeared after a few seconds, and the rune fragments inside also disappeared. Lin Moyu gasped lightly to calm down his soul power. The soul power was consumed too much for a while, and it is recovering quickly at the moment. Just now, among the thousands of rune fragments, he only remembered less than one fragment. It was these 10 fragments that had brought him to his limit. 10 minutes later, with the help of the giant tree of talent, the soul power was fully restored. Lin Moyu compared the 10 fragments he just memorized with the soul fire runes arranged by Mr. Su, and found that there was no comparison at all. The two are not in the same league at all. He can face up to the soul fire rune. Although he doesn't understand it, he can fully support it at the soul level. He can accurately grasp the god contained in the soul fire rune, and even understand it. But now, he remembered these fragments, but he couldn't understand them at all. Just the fragments are so terrifying, they have essentially surpassed the soul fire rune. If we could really draw it, what a terrifying rune it would be. What is contained in the runes is no longer a law, but a rule. Unfortunately, I know nothing about the power of rules. In the final analysis, I am a little too ambitious. My vision is high, but my own realm has not kept up. Maybe I can force my memory, but if I want to understand, I can't do it in my current state. When Lin Moyu is thinking, he is also reflecting on himself. His vision is indeed very high. Even the Holy Lord has been exposed to it. He has been in and out of places related to ancient times several times. He has also discovered the existence of other worlds and seen a broader world. The improvement of your horizons allows you to stand at a higher point and observe the world, but at the same time, his true realm is actually not high enough. I stood at a high point and saw the whole world, but I couldn't understand the rules of the world. Fortunately, I understand the principle of self-examination and never do anything beyond my capabilities. runes still need to be explored. Runes are the truth of this world. Moreover, it comes from the temptation of high-level power, and the exploration of runes can satisfy strong curiosity. Write it down first. When your realm improves in the future, you can come back and study it carefully. Skull 5.2 The Skull God Warriors brought back news from afar. They found a cave and there were a large number of poisonous bees stationed outside the cave. Combining the information given by Choji, it is very likely that there is a mother of poisonous bees in the cave. Of course, there is also a possibility of encountering a poisonous queen. The thousands of undead eyes thousands of meters in the sky slowly disappeared, the immortal flames disappeared, and the scenery in the secret realm returned to brightness again. The stream of light flew across the sea of flowers, creating even more turbulent waves. When the flowers bloom, the petals are carried high into the sky, and colorful flowers scatter in the sky like raindrops. Lin Moyu flew out of the sea of flowers, then passed through a grassland, and hills appeared in his sight. The skeleton god warrior had already explored the road, and he rushed into the hill without stopping. The moment he rushed into the hill, the original sea of flowers suddenly changed. A large number of flowers withered, as if they had been sucked out of life by some force. The ground in the sea of flowers slowly rose up, and a big hand emerged from the ground, covered with rune fragments. The sudden change in the sea of flowers was also silent, and even Lin Moyu didn't notice it. At this moment, Lin Moyu had flown into the forest and came to a cave. The entrance to the cave is about 5 meters high, enough for him to pass through. Before his arrival, many skeleton god warriors had already entered. The topography of the cave has also been mapped out in my mind. Within the cave, there are connections in all directions. There are a large number of poisonous bees inside, and the surrounding rock walls are full of holes. This is the residence of poisonous bees. What is strange is that there are a lot of flowers growing in the cave. Flowers are scattered throughout the cave in a high density. However, the undead can only see black and white colors, and cannot see the specific appearance of the flowers clearly. But being able to grow flowers in a cave full of poisonous bees is a very strange and weird thing in itself. In the information given by Choji, there was no mention of flowers. Maybe he didn't even notice at the time. The skeleton god warriors had attracted all the poisonous bees near the entrance. After Lin Moyu entered the cave, he did not encounter any poisonous bees. Lin Moyu's body was shrouded in a layer of gray and white light, looking like a very thin mist, and even the space seemed a little distorted. It was a hell of bones covering the body. The bone hell can be deployed outwards to target the enemy, or it can be bundled into the body to form a shield. If there is danger, the bone hell is the first barrier. Shortly after entering the cave, Lin Moyu saw flowers. The flowers have a similar color to the rock wall, slightly earthy. Although there are many, they are not conspicuous and can easily be ignored. Lin Moyu took a look at the flowers and saw that there was indeed nothing wrong with them. The real problem is not the flowers, but the khaki grass hidden behind them. The earthy yellow grass is very inconspicuous because it is similar in color and blocked by flowers, so it is not noticeable. But Lin Moyu noticed that Huang Xiaojing kept spewing poisonous gas. This kind of poison is invisible and has no quality. It will not be felt all at once. By the time I felt it, it was already too late. These poisons will pass through the skin, penetrate into the body, and even penetrate into the soul, accumulating and gathering more and more. It's like a time bomb waiting to be detonated. The bone hell glowed slightly, and all the poisonous gas in the cave entered the bone hell and did not touch Lin Moyu. In fact, it doesn't matter even if he touches it, the passive spell is enough to make Lin Moyu immune to this level of poison. In the caves that extend in all directions, the skeleton god warriors move through at an alarming speed. Behind them were countless poisonous bees. In less than half an hour, the skeleton god warriors had covered most of the cave and attracted all the poisonous bees. In a cave, it is not convenient to use undead gaze. If corpse explosion can be used, the killing effect will be better. Unfortunately, after the poisonous bee died, there was no body left behind. Lin Moyu chose a relatively empty area based on the terrain. Thousands of skeleton generals are arranged in a three-dimensional battle formation. After the skeleton god warriors attract the swarm of poisonous bees, the skeleton god will unleash his sword energy to kill. Facing the attack from the little god realm, the poisonous bee SWARM was powerless to fight back. A large number of poisonous bees died in the sword energy. After death, the poisonous bees turned into points of light and began to swim upstream. The cave cannot hinder the light spots. They are like invisible existences, easily drilling into the rock wall and disappearing. As a result, Lin Moyu had no chance to observe the runes in the cave. In just a few minutes, countless poisonous bees had been wiped out. The skeleton god warrior now ran through most of the cave and found the correct route. Lin Moyu felt like he was back in a small world at this moment and was conquering the dungeon. He has long been familiar with this kind of thing. Converting the skeleton god warrior into a skeleton god will open a path ahead, follow the correct path, and go deeper into the cave. According to Lin Moyu's understanding, there should be many caves like this. Not every cave contains the mother of venomous bees. I don't know if there is any cave in which he is now, it's all up to luck. The path of the cave gradually became wider, until the height exceeded 10 meters, as did the width. What does this mean? It means that someone big is passing by here. Will it be the mother of poisonous bees, or the queen of poisonous bees? From here on, there are no more ordinary poisonous bees. Obviously, among the poisonous bees, the structural hierarchy is also very strict, and there are some places that ordinary poisonous bees cannot enter. Lin Moyu found that the toxins in the space had increased a lot. The number of flowers and grass around him became denser, and the more concentrated toxins gradually became visible to the naked eye. A light yellow mist filled the air unconsciously. He was wrapped in the hell of bones, ignoring the pale yellow mist. After passing a curve, the vision suddenly opened up. A pool appeared in sight. The pool was very clear, like a mirror, calm and waveless. On the edge of the pool, there are two huge bee eggs. The bee eggs are about 3 meters high, with a gap at the top, which continuously sucks in the yellow mist, and then spits it out like a volcanic eruption. The whole process is accompanied by the contraction and expansion of the bee eggs, as if a living creature is breathing. Lin Moyu was attracted to the bee eggs after just one glance. While the bee egg was breathing, a large number of rune fragments appeared on the surface. Just like the runes he saw in the light spots, they were all fragments. But this time there is no need to use the eyes of the soul, you can see directly with the naked eye. When Lin Moyu wanted to take a closer look, the bee egg suddenly spit out a large amount of mist. The originally thin yellow mist instantly became thick, just like the thick sulfur before a volcanic eruption. It instantly covered the bee eggs and filled the entire space the next second. The toxicity in the mist increased sharply. If it were an ordinary god king, he could only withdraw at this moment and wait for the poisonous mist to dissipate. If you react slowly, you may even be in danger. But for Lin Moyu, it doesn't have to be so troublesome at all. The skeleton god general didn't care about the poisonous mist at all and directly attacked the bee eggs. During the sword energy bombardment, the bee eggs exploded, and a large amount of 370 poisonous gas exploded again. At the same time, piercing screams sounded in the cave. For huge poisonous bees rushed over. They shuttled through the thick fog at extremely fast speeds. Dense fog will not affect them at all. Judging by the strength of the soul fire, it is all around the 8th level of the God King. Then, Lin Moyu saw them. Compared to venomous bees that are only the size of a fist, they are considered giants. It was over 2 meters tall, with 4 pairs of transparent wings vibrating rapidly and making a buzzing sound. On their mouths and tails, there is a slender spike. The spikes glow with a strange light and are obviously highly poisonous. Boom! The moment they appeared, all the density exploded. The poison became extremely strong in an instant. Lin Moyu realized that Qiuji was facing this situation at that time. The 4 giant poisonous bees in front of him were the ones Ji saw at that time. It was not the poisonous queen bee, so Qiuji had the chance to escape. If it were the poisonous queen bee, Qiuji would have died. The 4 giant poisonous bees are not powerful in terms of strength, they are only the 8th level of the God King. The only trouble is their poison. If there are no poisons, it is not difficult to solve them. The best way is to leave first and come back when the poisonous gas is almost gone. Or prepare antivirus magic weapons and elixirs to kill them hard. Lin Moyu chose the latter. While the giant poisonous bee detonated the poison, the skeleton god general had already rushed over. The bone sword in his hand was extremely sharp. The sword light flickered, and the giant national bee was torn into pieces. After the giant poisonous bee died, it did not turn into a point of light like ordinary poisonous bees. On their corpses, a dazzling beam of light suddenly shot out. Countless rune fragments streaked across the beam. However, the duration of the beam was too short, less than 2 seconds, and the incident occurred suddenly, so Lin Moyu failed to seize this opportunity. From the initial rune fragments that appeared in the light spot after the death of the poisonous bee, to the dense rune fragments on the bee eggs, and the rune fragments in the light beam after the death of the giant poisonous bee. Everything tells Lin Moyu that everything in the secret realm is composed of runes. After the bee eggs and giant poisonous wasps were killed, the poisonous gas in the entire cave quickly declined, and there was no threat. Continue walking deeper into the cave, following the direction in which the giant poisonous bee came, and finally entered the deepest part of the cave. Here, Lin Moyu saw the mother of poisonous bees. The mother of venomous bees is even larger than the giant venomous bees. The mother of poisonous bees is sitting on the ground, and behind her is a huge hive. The hive is very large, shaped like a large sphere, with a diameter of more than 10 meters. There are countless poisonous bees crawling on it. The cave is just a place where poisonous bees live, and this is the place where poisonous bees breed. There are 4 more bee eggs surrounding the mother of poisonous bees. In front of each egg is a giant poisonous bee, which seems to be guarding the eggs. There is no poisonous queen bee. Lin Moyu felt a little disappointed. I found the mother bee, but I didn't see the poisonous queen bee. The mission reminds you that if you encounter a poisonous queen bee, don't think about anything else, just turn around and run away. But it is also obvious that the chance of encountering the poisonous queen bee is very low. Even Lin Moyu guessed that the giant poisonous bee in front of him would not be encountered every time. The appearance of the mother of venomous bees reminded Lin Moyu of a copy he had experienced, Tyrant Desert. There is a boss-level monster inside, called the Queen Ant. The structure of the entire ant colony seems to be somewhat similar to the poisonous bee in front of me. Lin Moyu was surprised by the inexplicable sense of familiarity. Maybe it's a coincidence. As soon as his heart moved, the skeleton god general had already rushed in to take action. The mother of poisonous bees screamed, and sound waves came out, which actually knocked the god general back several steps. The mother of venomous bees is only the 8th level of the God King, which is the same level as the giant venomous bees. Its scream can actually scare away the skeleton god general who is in the realm of the minor god. I have to say that it is very surprising. However, it was only a shock, and did not cause damage to the generals. After repelling the skeleton god general, the screams of the venomous bee mother turned louder. The poisonous bee nest behind him also began to roar and vibrate, and a large number of poisonous bees flew out from it. The poisonous bees hatched in large numbers, reaching over a kilometer in an instant. The poisonous bees were like an army, led by 4 giant poisonous bees, charging towards them. If other cultivators faced an attack of this level, they would definitely retreat first. Use the terrain and magic weapons to carry out counterattacks. After all, now that there is no poison, cultivators can let go of their hands and feet and act boldly. As long as the strength and experience are not bad, it is not difficult to destroy them. For Lin Moyu, it's even simpler. With a tap of your finger, the Hell of Bones instantly enlarged and enveloped the entire cave. The slaves in the Bone Hell immediately took action. The wonderful spirit exerted its squeezing power, and the three tribes' coalition launched an attack at the same time. A large number of poisonous bees were quickly killed and turned into spots of light. Lin Moyu discovered that the light points transformed by these poisonous bees after death could not escape from the Hell of Bones, nor could they return to the secret realm. The Bone Hell is like another dimension, trapping these light spots. Then the rune fragments contained in the light spots are also trapped in the Hell of Bones. It can still be like this. Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. He didn't expect the Bone Hell to have such a function. The light spots after the death of the poisonous bee were flying in the Hell of Bones. Carrying the power of the rune fragments, they ran rampant in the Bone Hell, seemingly wanting to return, but to no avail. Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. In this way, can we trap them all inside and study them slowly? You can even use the Hell of Bones to put the text together completely. Although I still can't understand it now, I can still take a look at what the runes looked like in ancient times. Unfortunately, it backfired. After dancing for a while, these light spots collapsed like bubbles and disappeared completely. Cannot be done. The idea failed and I was slightly disappointed. But this is also expected. If it can be obtained so easily, the rune fragments will be too worthless. Now the rune fragments have disappeared, which is normal. Facing the slaughter of the Bone Hell, the poisonous bee swarm and the giant poisonous bee could not survive for even a minute. Soon, only the mother of poisonous bees remained in the cave. Bee venom will turn into light and disappear when it dies. The mission is to obtain the body of the mother of venomous bees. I think it should be special, at least it can leave a body after death. All her men were killed, and the mother of the venomous bee was obviously a little confused, and she didn't seem to react for a while. It screamed like crazy, but to no avail. The nest behind him is still squirming, but it can't breed more mountains for a while. It seemed like it felt death coming. It has no wisdom and does not know what fear is. Just out of instinct, twisting wildly and uneasily. The sword energy burst out, illuminating the cave into a white world. The screams stopped suddenly, and the mother of venomous bees fell to the ground. A beam of light flew out from it, and a large number of rune fragments also appeared in the east. Its body shrank in the beam, but did not disappear completely. Eventually, the body of the mother of venomous bees became the size of a fist, like a piece of paper, and looked like a specimen. Lin Moyu went over to pick up the body of the mother of venomous bees. Boom! The cave shook violently, and the rock wall in front collapsed, revealing a brand new passage. #The task is not over yet? Still, this is the exit. Just as Lin Moyu was thinking, a dark vortex appeared around him. The breath of the big world comes from the vortex, and the power zone from the human phoenix network can be felt from it. This is the real exit. He has completed his mission. Through the exit, he can leave the secret realm and return to the Divine City Star territory. The 10-point Divine City merit has been successfully obtained. But what is going on in the passage in front of me? At this time, Lin Moyu suddenly received a reminder from Renhuang Network. Exploring the poisonous bee's secret realm, the first phase of the mission has been completed. You can choose to continue exploring, complete the second phase of the mission, and get more rewards. Rewards will change according to the degree of exploration. Please note that the danger of exploration in the second stage will be greatly increased. If there is danger, you can use the escape talisman to leave. The first stage rewards are still valid. Please make your choice within 1 minute. Unexpectedly, he could still receive information from the Human Emperor Network in the secret realm. Thanks Zhao, Lin Moyu carefully recalled his experience after entering the secret realm. He discovered that the power of the Human Emperor Network had actually penetrated into the secret realm. It's just that this penetration remains on the surface, and cannot really interfere with the operation of the secret realm. In other words, the rules of the secret realm cannot be changed. But the Human Emperor network is also very powerful, and its power can already carry out some interference in the secret realm. For example, divide the task into segments. After completing the first segment of the quest, use the quest props as coordinates to create an exit. As for the second stage, Lin Moyu estimated that there are no tasks in the secret realm itself, and these tasks are all set up by the Human Emperor network. At the same time, the Renhuang network must have its real purpose. To make a choice within 1 minute, it means that the Human Emperor network's interference in the secret realm can only last for 1 minute. Lin Moyu tried to communicate with Renhuang network. If I continue to explore, will it be good for you? He believes that Renhuang network can understand it, or the people behind Renhuang network can understand it. After half a minute, a word came from Renhuang network. Yes, have. One word is enough to explain many things. Lin Moyu determined that Renhuang network either has self-awareness or is being manipulated by someone behind the scenes. No matter what the possibility is, one thing will not change, and that is for the human race. The meaning of the existence of Human Emperor network is for the human race. Lin Moyu never doubted this. It was this answer that made Lin Moyu decide his choice. Collect the body of the mother of venomous bees and enter the dark passage. The breath of the big world gradually disappeared, and the power of the Human Emperor network became weaker and weaker. The sound of water came from ahead, and then Lin Moyu saw a curtain of water. You can't see where the water comes from, but it forms a curtain of water right in front of you. Water fell on the ground, and the earth was strangely dry, without any trace of water. This is no ordinary water. The soul instinctively opened its eyes and cut into the side of the other side. But still couldn't see anything. The same goes for using undead sight. It seems to be the most ordinary water, but it has an extraordinary appearance. No origin, no destination, no beginning, and no end. According to the laws of the big world, the situation in front of you is impossible. The power of rules. The rules have been changed here. Lin Moyu can only think of this possibility. Someone changed the rules here, which will cause unusual phenomena. After taking a deep breath, Lin Moyu walked through the falling water curtain. The scene in front of me suddenly changed. He found that he had left the cave and saw an endless plain before him. Looking up, I saw large tracts of water, all floating in the air. The water masses floated in the air and turned into pools in the air. You can even see fish swimming inside. Lin Moyu looked around, seeing no formations and no external force. Only by changing the rules can such bizarre scenes appear. At the same time Lin Moyu set foot in this area, the sea of flowers where he first entered the secret realm, the giant hand covered with runes, rose up a lot again. The entire wrist has reached out of the earth. The wrists were also covered with runes, sparkling. It is still struggling, trying to leave the earth completely. But a large number of runes also appeared in the air, blocking it and preventing it from leaving. The two sides wrestled with each other, and it was difficult to determine the winner for a while. In the core area of the divine city, in the void, there is a ball of flames, burning blazingly. The flames were extremely huge, and their volume exceeded the sum of dozens of galaxies. Outside the flames, several palaces floated. After. The palace has experienced the baptism of time and exudes an ancient and vast atmosphere. A huge voice came from one of the palaces. He entered the second stage of the poisonous bee secret realm, belonging to the 12998 star field. Even if other voices appear, the second stage is very difficult. For tens of thousands of years, less than 10 people have passed. Someone corrected him, to be precise, it's round. It doesn't matter whether it's 10 people or 8 people. What's important is that no one passed the last stage. The Human Emperor network's penetration of the venomous bee secret realm is only halfway through. Perhaps there is hope this time. If he can't do it, no one can. Lin Moyu doesn't know that many big bosses have high hopes for him. He was studying these floating water masses at the moment. He saw another rune fragment in the water mass, and it was different from the rune fragments he had seen before. This is another fragment. When he opened his soul's eyes and wanted to take a closer look, his soul shook violently. More than half of the soul power was consumed in an instant. Lin Moyu groaned, and the soul closed automatically. Lin Moyu was still frightened. It was also a rune fragment, but the rune fragments here were obviously more terrifying and required higher realms. He almost suffered a backlash, and considering his soul in the other side realm to be like this, if he were an ordinary god king, his soul would be shattered on the spot just by taking one look at it. He suddenly felt that he was thinking wrong. If he were an ordinary god king, he would not be able to see these runes at all. If you can't see the runes, you won't have these problems. Now that I think about it, these runes were not originally meant for the god king to see. Even if they were in the god sovereign realm, they probably wouldn't be able to see them. The realm is still not enough. Lin Moyu knew what his problem was. His soul was enough, but his cultivation realm was not enough. Now Lin Moyu is a little embarrassed. When his level is high enough, he won't be able to come in. But if the realm is not enough, you can't see it. He didn't want to understand it, he just wanted to write down the runes alone, but the result was not as good. He also didn't expect that the difficulty of the second stage runes would increase so much. Just as he was thinking about what to do, he suddenly felt that he was being targeted. He raised his head and saw a few fish staring at him in the nearest body of water. The next second, a fish rushed out of the water mass. As soon as it left the water mass, its body swelled in the wind and instantly became a giant 10 meters long. A powerful aura rushed towards his face, and these fish actually had the 9th level strength of the God King. The skeleton god general appeared beside him, and in the next moment his sword energy spread freely, and the fish that flew over was instantly chopped into pieces. At the moment when the fish died, all the water masses collectively boiled. Sharp screams came from the water mass, and the water mass seemed to be alive, constantly deforming in the air and showing its teeth and claws. Fishes in the water, large and small, kept flying out, towards Lin Moyu. As soon as their bodies leave the water mass, they immediately become dozens of times larger. In an instant, the sky was filled with strange fish, and they covered the sky with their fangs and claws. More than people? Lin Moyu snapped his fingers with a look of disdain. The skeleton hell emerged, a hell world composed of gray and white colors that almost instantly filled the sky, shrouding all the fish monsters in it. The flames in the skeleton hell erupted, and the immortal flames burned blazingly. The slaves in the hell started to attack the fish monster at the same time. The number of fish monsters is extremely large, more than 10,000, and their attack power is extremely powerful. They can basically control the laws of water, spray out ice arrows, and freeze the world. Just the soldiers in the bone hell, it would take a lot of time to kill them all. The strength of the bone hell depends on how strong the slaves in the hell are. Now his slaves are not strong, there are only 3 minor gods, and a group of 3 tribes coalition forces. Although the 3 tribes coalition forces are large in number, they have lost the blessing of the battle formation and their combat power has been greatly reduced. Among the wonderful spirits, not many can reach the 9th level of the God King. And all the fish monsters are at the 9th level of the God King. The skeleton god will join the battle group in the next moment. Skeleton Hell turned into a battlefield, and a large number of fish monsters were killed by the skeleton god general. Beams of light rose in hell, and rune fragments emerged from the light. Lin Moyu refused to give up and used the eyes of the soul to check the rune fragments again, and his soul power was once again greatly consumed. He only remembered part of the fragments, and his soul power had been consumed by more than half. Fortunately, his soul power recovers very quickly, and it won't take long to recover. I tried several times without giving up, but the result was the same. And Lin Moyu suddenly discovered something. In the first stage, he memorized 10 rune fragments. He was shocked to find that he had forgotten what a rune fragment looked like. No matter how much I recall now, I just can't remember the god of runes, and even the form is gradually forgotten. Lin Moyu sighed, with a little helplessness. It seems that things at this level are really beyond my reach. Now he deeply understands the barriers caused by realm. The huge difference in realm, even if he remembered it temporarily, would be forgotten soon. He thought of what Antares once said, if it's not yours, don't touch it. It's useless if you touch it. You won't get it anyway. After entering the secret realm and discovering the rune fragments, Lin Moyu has been trying to memorize the runes. As long as there is a chance, he wants to try it, even if he knows that he is too ambitious. After all, it is difficult for anyone to resist the temptation brought by high-level power. Until this moment, Lin Moyu finally understood. Indeed, this is not a level that I can touch. He put away all his curiosity, stopped thinking about the rune fragments, and started focusing on the mission. The skeleton god will rush into the bone hell and quickly destroy the fish monster. A few minutes later, tens of thousands of fish monsters were slaughtered. The water mass in the sky is still clear, but all the fish monsters inside are dead, and there is nothing in the water mass. On the water mass, there are still rune fragments flowing. Lin Moyu no longer wanted to look at it at this time. He knew that even if he forced it to be written down, he would forget it in a short time. This is not a level of power that he can access, and there is no need to force it, but at this moment, he found that the water mass was sparkling. After the fish monster died, the empty water mass changed again. In all directions, hundreds of huge water masses suddenly flew into the sky collectively. They flew to an altitude of 10,000 meters and then exploded to death. The whole sky lit up, and the clear water suddenly turned golden. The next second, a brilliant rain fell from the sky, rendering the whole world golden. A not-so-good feeling arises in my heart, and my soul sends a warning that danger is coming. Where does the danger come from? There were no enemies around, and the undead vision did not detect them. When he opened the eyes of the soul again, Lin Moyu shuddered and his eyes suddenly closed. He knew where the danger came from, which was the golden rain in the sky. What fell from the sky was not golden rain at all, but rune fragments. We can't let this rain get on us. The feeling brought by instinct is that it is not a good thing if the rain touches the body. The bone hell appeared around him, gray-white mist rose up, blocking the rain. The sound of Buddhist chanting sounded, and the Buddhist lich appeared beside him. Technique, the art of peeking into the truth. Lin Moyu uses the golden rain as his trust, triggering the laws of fate and peeking into the future. In the feedback from the law of destiny, Lin Moyu saw some things that might happen in the future. The golden rain is getting bigger and bigger, falling continuously. The whole earth was glowing with golden light. The hell of bones was gradually dissolved in the golden rain and finally collapsed. Then he was wrapped in golden rain and turned into a golden man, his body covered with rune fragments. At this point in the scene, Lin Moyu felt a chill in his heart. If he didn't think of a way to deal with it, he might be left here forever. There are only 2 roads left in front of him now, just to find a way to solve Jinyu. The second is to use the escape talisman to leave the secret realm. The future he sees is not the real future, but what will happen if he does nothing. A large number of skeleton gods rushed out, turned into streams of light, and rushed in all directions. Lin Moyu wants to find a way out. The golden rain may not necessarily cover the entire secret realm. There may be some places where there is no golden rain. But the result disappointed him. After flying only tens of thousands of kilometers, the skeleton god general's speed suddenly slowed down. Their whole bodies were wrapped in golden raindrops and turned into golden skeletons, covered with rune fragments. The speed became slower and slower, and after just a few seconds, it became motionless. The connection between the skeleton god general and him was completely severed, and he could never be contacted again. The skeleton god is dead and has no chance of resurrection. His talents and passive spells all lost their effect at this moment. This change gave Lin Moyu a creepy feeling. The skeleton god general is not dead, he just lost contact with himself and can no longer control him. It was like being forcibly separated from the undead army and no longer a member of the undead army. Then passive spells and talents will naturally not have any effect on him. Judging from the reaction of the skeleton god general, if he is wrapped in golden rain and covered in runes, there is no possibility of rebirth. These rune fragments are extremely terrifying. Lin Moyu held the escape talisman in his hand. If it was really necessary, he would not force it. Saving his life was the most important thing. The Buddha's chanting sounded again, and Lin Moyu used this truth-seeing technique for the second time. This time, still believing in Jinyu, Lin Moyu chose to save himself and rushed to the sky. Maybe you can escape by flying in other directions, but I don't know which direction is correct. There are only 3 chances to see the truth, and now there are 2 left, leaving Lin Moyu with not many choices. Lin Moyu chose to go up and break out of the clouds. Maybe there is a glimmer of hope. The art of voyeurism gave the result. In the future picture, I am like a rocket soaring into the sky. The closer to the clouds, the denser the golden rain becomes, and the hell of bones dissolves faster and faster. He seemed to be blocked by some huge force, and his flying speed became slower and slower. This scene is exactly the same as before with the skeleton god general. The bone hell quickly collapsed under the impact of the golden rain. He was wrapped in golden rain and could not move. He fell from the air and hit the ground heavily. The scene ends here. Lin Moyu's face was ashen, and his upward thrust was ineffective. Then look around and choose any direction. This is the probability. The chances of survival are slim. The fog in the bone hell is collapsing, and there is not much time left for Lin Moyu. In fact, his best choice now is to activate the escape talisman and leave. It's just that Lin Moyu really doesn't want to give up. There is one last chance to see the truth, and he wants to try it again. Suddenly his eyes lit up, and Lin Moyu's face lit up. I know. He thought of how to deal with Jinyu. In the previous scene, at the last second, he hit the ground, and a big hole was made in the ground. The earth is not solid and can be destroyed. When the truth-seeing technique was used for the first time, although the earth was also glowing with golden light, it absorbed the runes and was not wrapped in the golden rain. The earth can withstand the invasion of golden rain. Lin Moyu pressed lightly with his palm, the power of the God King was revealed, and the earth roared and cracked. A square boulder with a side length of more than 100 meters was forcibly pulled out. The edge of the boulder is like a sharp blade, mirror surface. The boulder is not small, and it is extremely sleepy. The material density of the earth in the secret realm far exceeds that of ordinary stars. The weight of this boulder has exceeded the combined weight of several planets. But for Lin Moyu, it was still very relaxed and not stressful. The skeleton god will come to the 4 corners of the boulder and hold up the boulder instead of Lin Moyu. Just because the pressure is low doesn't mean you like to lift it. There is a skeleton god general who can do it for me, so why bother myself? The boulders serve as umbrellas to block the golden rain. Just as Lin Moyu thought, the earth in the secret realm can withstand the golden rain. The last peak was saved. Choosing a direction at random, the skeleton god dragged the boulder forward quickly. The golden rain kept falling, and the secret realm seemed very large. After flying for a long time, it still did not fly out of the golden rain range. An hour later, the flying boulder stopped. Lin Moyu had a complicated expression. He looked at the golden pool on the ground and frowned slightly. The golden pool is square, with a side length of 100 meters and a depth of 100 meters. This is where he dug out the boulder just now. After flying for an hour, we were back to where we were. Is it the formation, the runes, or the rules? Lin Moyu thought for a moment and decided to try again. He flew in another direction, and an hour later, he saw the giant crater again. After an hour of golden rain irrigation, there was more water in the pool. Change the direction again. Lin Moyu changed the direction again. The boulder lifted off and flew towards the sky. What Lin Moyu said about changing directions was not front, back, left, or right, but straight towards the sky. There is no meaning in front, back, left, and right. Lin Moyu guesses that breaking through the clouds in the sky is the correct way out of the secret realm. As the distance to the sky gets closer and closer, the pressure on the skeleton general is also increasing. Every drop of golden rain seemed like a giant fist, falling on the boulder with a roar. Originally there were only 4 skeleton god generals holding the boulder. As the pressure continues to build, the speed becomes slower and slower. Lin Moyu once again added several skeleton generals. The skeleton god general is a small god with extremely powerful strength attributes. In terms of physical strength, the skeleton god is far superior to the ordinary little god. Even they can't hold it back. You can imagine how powerful the impact of the golden rain is. Lin Moyu felt the impact from the golden raindrops and already knew it in his heart. As long as you have the power of the little god, you can indeed break through the golden rain blockade on June 1st. The premise is that the stones cannot be too big and the length and width cannot exceed 10 meters. The larger the stone, the greater the amount of gold rain it will bear, and the greater the natural pressure. The level limit of the secret realm is the 9th level of the God King. There are many geniuses in the human race. The 9th level of the God King is enough to explode into the Power Emperor of the minor god level. As long as the stones are properly controlled, they can naturally block the golden color and break through the clouds. Lin Moyu is never conceited. Since he can think of a solution, others can definitely think of it too. There is no shortage of smart people in this world. Dozens of skeleton generals supported the boulders and braved the golden rain, breaking through the layers. The world changes and bright light shines down. Lin Moyu stands above the clouds, looking at the sky full of floating clouds and the beautiful scenery. In the distance, a star-like light ball rises slowly, like the warm sun rising, which makes people feel relaxed and happy. Suddenly, a burst of heart palpitations came. Lin Moyu flew away almost instinctively and came to the other end of the boulder. In an instant, countless golden beams of light shot from underneath him. It is as spectacular as a waterfall flowing backwards. The skeleton god was unable to dodge in time and was hit by the beam flowing upstream. He instantly turned into a golden skeleton and lost contact. The golden skull god will fall from the sky like a sculpture and fall back into the clouds. Lin Moyu reached out and grabbed the boulder firmly. At this time only boulders can block the golden beam. Hiding behind the boulder, Lin Moyu was extremely safe, but lost dozens more skeleton generals. The attack came too suddenly. Flying out of the clouds and seeing the warm sun is the most relaxing moment. At this moment, the beam of light comes out of the blue, and you will be hit if you are not careful. Lin Moyu has lingering fears. This secret realm is more dangerous than any dungeon he has ever experienced. The danger is not the enemies in the secret realm, but the rules in the secret realm. Even he cannot resist the power of rules, he can only follow the rules to crack them. The clouds exploded under the golden beam itself, which gradually disappeared after a few seconds. The clouds completely dispersed, and Lin Moyu saw the earth again, just like the sun was visible through the clouds. At this moment, the earth is covered with golden water, and the secret world has turned into water. If you fall in, the consequences can be imagined. The light group in the distance, like the warm sun, seems to be getting bigger and approaching rapidly. Lin Moyu was alert and summoned dozens of skeleton generals again, who held the boulder. This time he learned the lesson wisely. There were skeleton generals on all sides of the boulder. In this way, no matter where the attack comes from, you can deal with it calmly. The light group grew larger in sight and approached quickly. It wasn't until the distance was less than 10,000 miles that Lin Moyu could see clearly what kind of light group it was. It's just a big ball of golden water, a golden color, composed of rune fragments. This ball of golden light is thousands of kilometers in diameter and looks like a small star. The densely packed runes on it flashed continuously, emitting a dazzling golden light. Although it is very beautiful, Lin Moyu knows very well that this thing is extremely deadly. The golden water mass stopped, and its appearance began to change. Gradually, it turned into a water dragon, composed of golden runes. From the appearance, it is exactly the same as the dragon in the Dragon Clan. From a purely power level point of view, it is not powerful, that is, it is only the 9th level of a god king, not even a minor god. But it's extremely dangerous because you can't come into contact with it at all. Even if the god comes into contact with him, he will be turned into gold by the runes inside and will never be able to leave. A dragon roar echoed through the secret realm. The water dragon spits out dragon breath, which is also composed of golden water balls and is full of runes. What the hell? Lin Moyu was still observing, but he didn't expect the attack to be so violent. Without thinking, he immediately hid behind the boulder. The dragon's breath hit the boulder, and the boulder was knocked back by the huge force. Several skeleton generals facing the water dragon instantly turned into gold and fell from the air. Just like Lin Moyu thought, anyone who touches it will die. Lin Moyu can't sit still and wait for death. Since he can't contact you, he will attack from a distance. Anyway, the skeleton is limited. A large number of skeleton generals appeared in the sky, wielding powerful sword energy. The attack from the little god realm fell on the water dragon, beating it to pieces. The water dragon exploded into a sky-filled waterfall and poured into the golden water. Solved? Lin Moyu was slightly startled, this is too simple. But the next second, the golden water broke out into huge waves, and the water dragon rushed out again. It spurted out a large amount of dragon breath again, and the dragon breath turned into water, like a waterfall flowing backwards and covering the sky and the earth. Lin Moyu changed positions again, using boulders to resist the golden water flow. The skeleton god generals scattered in all directions, trying their best to avoid contact with the gold water. Swinging the sword energy again, the water dragon couldn't withstand the attack of the skeleton god general and exploded into pieces. The golden water column fell to the ground and merged with the water. In less than half a second, the water dragon appeared again, but this time the skeleton god general struck first and killed the water dragon directly before it could attack. But in less than half a second, the water dragon appeared again. Lin Moyu watched the water dragon being beaten to death again and reappearing again and again. Could it be that this thing has the same talent of rebirth as me? The answer is of course impossible. He knows that the water dragon must be immortal because of some special rules. There must be something in it that I haven't discovered yet. The vision of the undead was opened, and he saw the fire of the water dragon's soul. The soul fire also meets the standards of the 9th level of the God King. Apart from the golden water, there is nothing surprising about the water dragon. The problem now is that no matter how many times water dragon dies, his soul is never harmed. For the water dragon, the water throughout the secret realm is its body. As long as the soul is not injured, it will never be killed. But where is the soul? Lin Moyu tried to lock its soul, but found that he couldn't. The soul seems to be constantly changing positions and is not fixed in one place. The soul will rise into the sky with the water dragon. After the water dragon dies, the soul will fall back into the water. This process cannot be stopped. As the water dragon was killed again and again, Lin Moyu finally discovered some clues. Every time the water dragon is blown up, it will turn into a large amount of gold water and fall back into the swamp. In these large amounts of gold water, there are water masses and water droplets, depending on their size. But every time, there is one water mass that shines particularly brightly. Lin Moyu realized that this special water mass was the key to killing the water dragon. It's just that the location of this water mass is different every time, so it's difficult to predict in advance. Since it is difficult to predict, there is no need to predict. Lin Moyu decided to use local methods to solve the problem. The sky was densely packed with tens of thousands of skeleton generals. When the water dragon appeared again, the white sword energy spilled out, scattering the water dragon on the spot. The water dragon blasted out countless water droplets that were about to fall into the swamp. Then the overwhelming sword energy fell one after another, giving the water dragon no chance to return to the water stream. Not to mention the water dragon, even the water shrouded in the sword energy was forcibly knocked out of a piece of dry land. The gold water and sword energy cancel each other out and annihilate each other. The sword energy of the skeleton god general is far inferior to the rune fragments in the water mass at the historical level. But they are more numerous and continuous. The rune fragments are only the residual power left over from that time. And it's just a wisp of the remnant, not even a wisp. Finally, Lin Moyu saw that special water mass in the sky full of sword energy. While other golden water was melting with the sword energy, this special water mass persisted in the sword energy, but it never had the chance to fall back into the water. Waves of sword energy came from all directions and fell on it. Beat it until it buzzes, but can't escape. The skeleton god will control its power extremely delicately and will not give it a chance to fall. Lin Moyu seemed to hear the roar of the water dragon, but it had no effect. Under the continuous attack, the special water mass finally couldn't bear it and collapsed. It exploded into a large number of water droplets, which were annihilated by the skeleton god general's sword energy. The water dragon really died this time and was not resurrected. Lin Moyu exhaled. He still looked around vigilantly and did not relax because of this. In this secret realm, if you relax your vigilance, your life may be in danger. After a few seconds, the water disappeared and the ground returned to normal. The boulders in midair also automatically turned into light spots and disappeared. Only then did Lin Moyu confirm that he had passed the second stage. Looking back and thinking about it, the second level is actually not particularly difficult. As long as you are careful and alert enough, you can usually pass it. The most difficult water dragon actually has a way to solve it. After destroying it, just find a way to prevent it from returning to the water. Without water, it cannot regenerate. You can use stones to catch all the water balls after the water dragon dies, then the water dragon will be completely killed. For others, this is the best approach. It's just that Lin Moyu chose a simpler and cruder method to solve this problem. The earth roared, and a golden stone pillar rose from the earth. The stone pillars are carved with intricate runes. After seeing the runes on the stone pillar, Lin Moyu felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity. Then, he patted his head and laughed secretly, "I'm so stupid." The runes on the stone pillar are still just a corner of the complete runes. But it is the culmination of all the rune fragments in the secret realm. Although Lin Moyu had forgotten the runes he had recorded before, he still remembered what he had done. It is precisely because I have tried hard to memorize those runes that I feel an inexplicable sense of familiarity. Now it seems that it is not possible at all. If you really have this ability, just looking at the runes on the pillars is enough, and even the process of piecing it together can be omitted. If it were in the past, Lin Moyu would try his best to memorize the runes. But he won't do that now. He knew there was no point in writing it down, as it would not take long before he would forget it. He would only remember that he had memorized a very terrifying and powerful rune, but he had no way of knowing what the rune he had memorized was like. In this case, what's the point of writing it down? Lin Moyu just glanced at it and stopped paying attention. A black vortex appeared around him again. The breath of the big world mixed with the power of the human emperor network was transmitted from the vortex. At the same time, there was also a reminder from Renhuang network. The second phase of exploring the Venomous Beak secret realm is completed. You can now choose to leave or continue the third phase of exploration. Rewards will be settled after you leave the secret realm. Rewards will be doubled based on the progress of your mission. Please note, the third stage of the mission is extremely dangerous, and the escape charm may become invalid. Lin Moyu can understand the first two sentences. But the third place, Lin Moyu, felt a little weird. In the third reminder, there is obviously an element of temptation. Renhuang network seems to hope that it can continue the task. Especially the fourth sentence, it tells myself that the first phase of the mission is very dangerous. The Human Emperor Network seems to want me to continue performing my mission, but it seems it doesn't want me to continue my mission. The inconsistency is obvious. The task that Renhuang Network can say is extremely dangerous is probably really dangerous. At least in the second phase, Renhuang Network didn't say that. In the second stage, Renhuang Network only said that the danger level of the mission would be greatly increased, but now it is said to be extremely dangerous. Renhuang Network has always used words very strictly. Different words, even if they have similar meanings, have completely different internal meanings. The danger level in the second stage has increased significantly, indicating that someone has still completed the second stage of the task. But the third stage is extremely dangerous. In Lin Moyu's understanding, no one has ever completed this task. Lin Moyu thought for a long time, communicated with the Human Emperor Network through the exit vortex, and raised his question. Is the third phase of the mission good for you? Exactly the same question as before. After a while, Prison Phoenix Network had a reply. The answer from Renhuang Network is the same as before, a simple word yes. After Lin Moyu got the answer, he took a deep breath and said, in that case, let's try it. He believed in his own strength. If even he couldn't complete it, then no one else could. No matter how abnormal the rules are, there will still be a glimmer of hope. Just like the situation encountered in the second stage, he believed that he could always find a way to solve it. Lin Moyu flew towards the rune pillar. In the core area of the Divine City, in the palace outside the fireball, a majestic voice sounded again. He made his choice. I guess he should choose to continue to the third stage. That's right. He is very confident in his own strength. No, this is just one aspect. The reason why he made this choice is more because he is a human race. Let's be prepared. Maybe we can get this rune. If there is hope for him, we must do our best to save him. It's natural. The voice gradually fell away. The flames are still burning in the void. In the poisonous bee secret realm, the giant hand covered with runes once again reached out a lot. At first it was just the palm, then the wrist, and now even the arm is sticking out. The arms are also engraved with runes, which are the runes in the second stage. The runes from before are also there, but now they are clearer. The giant hand was clasped towards the sky, as if trying to hold something. Lin Moyu knew nothing about the changes. He follows his heart and is very firm in his choice, and does not have any unnecessary distractions. He came to the stone pillar. Standing in front of the stone pillar that was 10,000 meters high, Lin Moyu was as inconspicuous as a grain of dust. Lin Moyu didn't recognize the runes on the stone pillar, he only knew that they were part of a complete rune, a corner. It's just a part, but it's already very powerful. He used his soul power to communicate and support the stone pillar. The stone pillars roared and the runes shone. The world in front of Lin Moyu suddenly became blurry, and an irresistible force fell around him and on him. The rules have been changed.